Mr. Superman is not here.
Yes, welcome to Shard Hunter session. Oh my gosh. Yes. I had to change to the new collection because we have a missing person. So it says session 115, not session 98.
You
eh,
changed it beforehand,
I
but did
changed.
the wrong one.
Yeah,
Oh boy, you poor
yeah,
thing.
I did it. All right, now that we have crashed and burned our typical smooth entrance, we're gonna kick it over to the GM to give us an update on where we are at.
Alright. Previously, our heroes took advantage of the dwarves' new type of magic to go into a painting and experience a battle from the past with some of the inhabitants of the library so they would know what kind of entities they would have to face once they get inside there. They discovered that the library's defense system is active because of all the crazy activities between the Quoth and the Lich that's living in there. Also, they managed to make it back to the Snow Elf lands and do a little discussion there. And now they are preparing to figure out what they need to do about Briggenmeyer.
All right. So are we? Did you say we were still in the dwarf lands, or did we hop
Here in
back?
the snow.
Right. Snow elves. Snow elves. Snow elves.
You just finished talking to the historian.
Are they still there? Or are we?
Yes.
Excuse me. Do you guys happen to have any books on black dragons or any lore that could help us?
Well, not many black dragons roam the north. We have more dealings with the snow dragons. The white dragons. And some of the deep underground dragons that occasionally show. They seem to be attracted by our charge.
Wait. Hold on. Are we talking to the dwarves?
Elves.
No.
Snow elves. Okay. Is any no. Oh, how to. Any of you guys have anything for the elves?
Just a little bit of out of character from a tactical perspective. Both Core and Akar know that one of the first things y'all need to do is one, identify what happened at Briggenmeyer. So you might want to look into the historics of it. You know a dragon lives there, and a flight of dragons attacked the fortress and took it from the Kaminoa. You don't know any details about that other than supposedly the large black dragon that's still there over 1,200 years later. Secondly, from a tactician standpoint, since both of y'all are experts in that, you would know that with the magic in the world, you might want to try to looking into Briggenmeyer to see if you can see the setup there, or maybe get someone on the ground who can get in the area and out again without being noticed. Which no humanoid that's a demi-human in the standard company of humans would ever be able to do that. You would need something monstrous to go in there. And second off, as discussed previously, you know that this dragon is well beyond any capabilities y'all have. So you're going to have to do something to either distract it or bring allies with you in the fight, because you will die if you fight this dragon.
Nice. Scary, but nice.
And the only bit of advice that you have heard is that the dragon is a female, so she has been laying eggs the entire time she's been there.
Remember hearing that?
Do you guys have any information on the end of the Kaminoans? Perhaps they're one of their last strongholds that was attacked by dragons.
The only information we have is on the stronghold you visited.
Okay. Just curious before we got on the road.
Yeah, mostly we spend our time here in the north. probably an expert with information from that time period further south would be more beneficial to you.
Okay. Maybe we could track down Mr. Lockwood or maybe the Adventurers Guild. Wasn't there some stuff we need to go talk to the Adventurers Guild about, or did we wrap all that? Maybe Eve, was there stuff maybe at your place, the Crystal Grotto? Did we wrap that up?
Silver's at the Crystal Grotto currently.
Yeah.
Was there a Adventurers Guild quest that we had to do?
No, but you do think because you went to the Deadlands and found the fortress and the Dwarven fortress, you probably should go report that to the Adventurers Guild because that's right up their alley.
Okay.
And the only person you know of that has knowledge from that time period would be the Lich King, your buddy.
Oh, old Prince Ormandius.
Because remember, he was born before that castle fell.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
In fact, he was probably born before it became a Kimanoan fortress.
All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else we need to do here, guys. Do we want to just do we need to just get on the road back to the tree, or do we want to just travel the roads? What do you think, Winky?
What do I think about what?
Well, we don't really have much else to ask the elves here. Do we want to get on the road and just walk all the way home, or ride, or do we want to just teleport to the tree and then maybe go up to one of the other cities from there?
Don't we have a ship somewhere?
No.
There is a ship at the Dwarven Merchant place.
Yeah, the ship y'all borrowed.
Ambrazul or something like that. Oh no, that was Dalgarum, Littering Hall.
Can we we're not able to take the cart to the tree with us, right? Or
Yeah, we push it.
It's designed to go through the gate. It's a collapsing cart.
I say we go to
Bringing everyone back to the world map.
Yeah, yes. Let's roll out the map here, guys, and let's take a look at it overall.
Well, if you recall, we traveled up here in a convoy. If we can't catch a convoy back down, I don't think it's going to be safe enough. Us traveling alone. I remember those wolves that were eyeballing us.
Mm-hmm. There's a mystery there.
That's my one concern.
I think we should go back to the tree.
I think pretty much
That's from
anything
there.
that would try to attack us was scared off by the size of the convoy.
Wolves wouldn't be scared of that. Smart.
And we need to go to. Is this Arvindale? No, not. What am I doing? I'm way too high. Riven. Definitely need to go to Riven to the Adventurers Hall. Don't know if we need to go to Larkin, but we'll probably have to go there just to get on the road to Riven. Where else do you guys think we need to go? We might. I don't know. Maybe the dwarves over near the Lonely Hall might be able to give us some insight, because they're from Anturcum. They might know what happened in Briggenmire.
Well, if anything, what we're going to need to do is kind of run through each area we've been to and try to round up people to go with us. We don't just need information, we need the people anyway.
Yeah, so do we need to go to the south?
We need to meet the Thieves Guild. We need to go to Turkum. We need to go to every place that we've contacted, that we've dealt with. Orm, anything that's there. Contact the kobolds in the Lonely Mountain. Just every different place and people that we've dealt with over the time. We need to hit them up, not just for information, but hey, we're about to go against one of the biggest, baddest things we've gone against.
Mhm.
There's probably not much we can do.
Oh, it's gonna be
Well,
another one of those nights. I feel.
well.
Okay.
I don't know that there's anything else we need to do in the north outside of the Lich King. But we can just talk to him through message, yeah. Anyone
And most
else?
likely he's watching you right now.
You just talk to him.
Go for it. Go for it, Akar.
We've also got that whole thing with the demons.
Dude.
Not sure what that one's about, but that is there. And also the Briggenmire thing, if we need someone to go in, we can probably get the kobolds to. They might be good at that.
Is there anyone from your island that you think could help?
I've got a whole temple.
Yeah, the entire temple of her clerical order.
Yeah,
And remember, Silver's at there right now.
yeah, the kobolds sound good. We've also got the goblins. They could probably slink around in the mire as well. Alright, so we got a pretty good list going, I think. So we want to start with Ormandius, and then we can go by the Adventurers Guild and just get on the road, track down maybe the kobolds and the Thieves Guild and the goblins, then go south if we need to the Southern Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go to the island, Eve? Do we need to go all the way out there, or is there another way to contact them?
Well, remember, you haven't been to the library you found on the island in a while. They've been working on cleaning it up.
All right, so can we get a list of each place we need to go to and just go to each of those places?
I'm saying we can go back to.
We need to make the list based on our memory.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you in about an hour.
So Aluindel.
Wish I would have known this long beforehand.
Yeah, Aluindel, then up to.
No, hold on. Let me actually take notes instead of playing Valheim.
What? What? Oh my goodness. Winky, get him. Get him, Winky.
Hammer smash.
Alright. Aluindel, then to Larkin so that we can get to Riven. From Riven we can go over to the Lonely Mountain.
Hold on. I'm not there. Allendale.
Yeah, so we go to the tree. Then we go up to Larkin, because we can just portal there. Then we can walk over to Riven to talk to the Adventurers Guild. The Adventurers Guild, we can keep on going over to the Lonely Mountain. Might be able to find some dwarves there and the kobolds. And then we can hop down to Zan. They might have a boat there. If not, we might be able to go up to...
You don't need a boat. You've got a key to the library now. Remember, y'all made one.
in the
Y'all have
south?
that.
There's
That's way in the
You have-
south.
No, you have the library on the island so that she could go back and forth to her island.
Oh.
we can get to the island without
Okay.
without needing anything.
So we can do the island. Do we want to do the island early? Let's do the island early. Get that going. Go to the island and then the tree. Then to Riven to get on the road.
And then after the Lonely Mountain, you could go to Anturgum. Because that'd also be on the way down to talk to the goblins.
Yes. Three. Okay.
And y'all have never been there before, but you do know Fort Walsh is the last fort in the kingdom that is protecting the kingdom from Brigandine.
We can ask Maury if she's had any dealings with him, and maybe she'd be willing to go be a intermediary for us to let them know we're coming. A goblin. Do we want to go to the Southern Kingdom for anything?
Well, Eric's down there.
Eric's down there, and the Thieves Guild.
The Southern?
We've got good. We can talk to the Thieves Guild leader in the north. Well, the Middle Kingdom, I believe it was,
Correct.
and the one in the Southern Kingdom. So both of those we can talk to. So
Isn't your daughter and her husband also down there too?
I don't have a daughter.
No, of course.
Thor's daughter.
Oh, my bad.
Yep,
My
yep.
bad.
Do we have a portal down south?
I
In the
believe we do.
library.
In a
the other
library as
library
well.
down
The
there.
other
We like to
library.
put portals in libraries.
Yes, you have several libraries you can visit at any point in time.
Library
I can just imagine that Core's hand just pops through a portal and grabs a book.
I mean, he hardly ever sleeps, so.
That'd be good because we need to research a lot on these black dragons while we're in these libraries. Okay.
And remember, that library in the Southern Kingdom has that occult expert.
Cars. Is that a Cars girl?
Yeah, I don't think she really liked me very much. Getting
I
some
think
weird vibes from that one.
He has a massive crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
He would definitely like to be seduced by her.
Okay. Does she have hairy feet though?
You know what? Probably. I mean, she doesn't leave, so I doubt she does
I
any
didn't-
kind of manicuring or
I didn't check.
pedicuring. I would have thought that was the first thing you would have checked.
I think she has shoes on, or some type of boot.
Okay, and I haven't ever heard you just walk up to somebody and just be like, "Can I see your feet?" So I assume
that
that's
just
not
makes
how
it-
you
yeah,
normally do things.
Yeah, makes it very awkward, you know.
Is that
rest-
the situation here, that just because you can see my feet all the time became kind of a thing?
I don't know, possibly.
Eve, has he ever seen your feet?
No,
Oh, might want to keep it that way.
I stay away from the car most of the time.
Oh man, I feel like have you ever seen R.I.P.D.? I feel like the guy from like the old western is like, oh, she's got hot ankles because they used to wear the long dresses.
Oh yeah.
It's like ankles. That's what does it for you. Okay, all right.
All right, so we'll.
All right, so we got portal to the island. We're gonna go to Allendale the tree. Then we're gonna portal to Larkin. We're gonna walk to Riven, and let the Adventurers Guild know what's going on. Then we're gonna go to the Lonely Mountain. Tell them what's going on. We're gonna go to Anturcum. Then we're gonna hit Fort Walsh, which is the last kingdom fighting against Brigamire. Well, I'm not sure if that's when we'll do that, but
after Anturcum, we need to
That's
hit
probably-
the goblins
And
Should
Peyton's
I-
Hall
and Payden's
and Bastille.
after Anturcum,
You'll pass
Peyton's Hall.
Bastille and then Peyton Hall.
And
do we Payden's Hole? Do we need to go to Bastille?
Well, it is an
I'm just
ancient thing, so
I'm
you
just
could
gonna
go
put
there again.
I put Bastille. So Bastille, Payden's Hole, Fort Walsh. Actually, that would be the last place we would go, wouldn't it?
Correct.
But you said Maury. We could probably have Maury go there.
No, Maury would not have any knowledge about them because she never leaves the forest.
Well,
I mean,
could we have Kairos do that? or somebody
Yeah.
else, just so not to just have them go there and let them know what's going on more than anything.
Yeah.
So that because to know that we're gonna possibly bring a giant army to their city, they probably want to know that beforehand.
And that we're
before they
probably
just
gonna
start
piss
looking out
off
the
a black
window.
dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to look out your
Well,
window and see an entire army.
The thing you probably need to warn them of most is most likely you're planning to bring a giant battle spider down there to fight the dragon.
I
Remember,
mean,
it's called the
it's-
giant Titan spider.
yeah, it's all of it. We gotta let them know everything that's happening here.
And Winkle will definitely do that for us. Winkle will give it the whole spiel to them.
Totally.
Alright, so Winky's got that part. Akar's gonna talk to Prince Ormandius. We're gonna go with Eve to the island after Akar does his bit. Cool. And then we'll go to the tree. Alright, cool.
Wait, what's a car doing?
Talking to the Lich King of the world.
Oh, okay.
The Lich King did give you a key to his fortress, to his royal holdup.
Oh, he's not talking to the Lich King of the world. He is talking to his cousin.
That's true.
That's
What up, cuz?
So do we need to go to his fortress? Because that's sort of close by.
That's like near Orm, right? Do we want to go to Orm? Are there people in
Orm's a
Orm?
volcanic crater.
The
Only
northern
the royal holdup is so good.
Yeah, the northern heel.
No, royal holdup. It's like Helm's Deep, where the family lived.
All right, so Lich King of the world, Akar is going to talk to. We're going to portal to the island. Eve's going to get to talk to her people there. We're going to go to Allendale to the tree. We're going to let them know what's up. We're going to portal to Larkin. We're going to talk to them there. We're going to walk to Riven, where we're going to talk to Adventurers Guild. We're going to go to the Lonely Mountain. Then we're going to head up Anturcum. We're going to hit Bastul, Payden's Hole, the Thieves Guild in the Mid Kingdom, the Thieves Guild in the Southern Kingdom. And we're going to have Kyrus before any of this. Probably when we go to the tree, we'll let Kyrus know that he needs to go to Fort Walsh. And that's where we're going to all meet together. And
You missed the goblins.
I
I didn't miss them. I just didn't put
That's
it in
Payton's Hall.
there.
Yep.
Yeah,
and we probably want to sneak
I'm gonna
in
put it in there.
the Central Kingdom Thieves Guild from the Lonely Mountain to the Thieves Guild, then down to Anturcum.
Okay, Lonely Mountain to Mid Kingdom Thieves Guild.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's in that area. It's just on the other side of the bay.
Then
Dang.
Anturcum.
Yeah.
Payden's Hole, then Thieves Guild in the Southern Kingdom. That makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can portal up from there.
Or down, or wherever we need to.
Whatever
we
it is.
haven't done yet.
Now, y'all are going on
And
a
then-
world tour.
And then every library we go to, we're looking up information on black dragons, on the
Kaminoans.
Kaminoans, and anything on Titans. Just as we're there.
Got it.
2 weeks later.
Okay. It's midday. Do you want to start doing anything right now?
Akar, let's do a little shout out to your cousin, just to start talking things through. Then that'll help us determine if we actually need to go to his house or not.
Okay, can you message him for me?
Yeah,
I
come on.
always
You can be
message
part of the
him.
ritual. It's just going to take us a little bit, but we got this. Let's go.
As you're preparing the ritual, you hear, hi, I'm watching.
He was listening to us the whole time.
Yeah,
What's up?
you're welcome to come. I figured out how to make them pay attention to me again. So you're safe if you come.
That's good.
But I mean, we got like 7 more minutes to set up the ritual. Are you? That's okay.
It's okay.
All right. Do you need anything? Any supplies? Any new foods?
Nah, I'm good. I mean,
Sure you
if you got
don't want to.
corpses you want to bring, that'd be fine. But no, don't worry about it.
I don't think we're doing that. We're not doing
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't
right?
figure you would.
What? He might
Hear
make the
that
worm.
courier's that. You hear him answering. Kor hears him answering Hatala.
Okay. Okay then. Anything else, Akar?
I mean, if we're gonna go visit him, then we can just explain it there.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that then.
So you portal to the Royal Hold and Arm.
If we got a portal there.
We got a key.
Remember, he gave you that box
Hmm.
that had a key.
Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah.
He told you to visit sometime, but not yet, because he hadn't figured out how to make the skeletons obey him yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It lost
That's right.
control after we
That's right.
created a volcano.
Okay, I've lost track of a lot of things.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot to remember.
Okay. Alright. Take us on, Akar.
Take us on a car. Let us ride free.
All right,
Don't
I'm gonna hop
let it
on.
exhaust us.
Well, nah. Midnight's probably too big for a regular door frame.
So you portal to the Royal Hold.
Yep.
And when you arrive at the portal, it's very ramshackle, and it looks like they have been impromptu trying to clean it up, to the point that you see a skeleton wearing a maid's dress trying to sweep.
What?
He had all the skeletons. See how one leg is shorter than the other leg? You see that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's because all these skeletons were like made of him, because they're all him, and they serve him, and apparently he decided to put them in clothes.
I love
mean,
how
I
you
guess it's
explained
better
something
to-
I already
it-
know.
You already knew that?
Yeah.
Why were you sounding so confused?
I'm confused because it's wearing a maid dress.
Oh, well, you've met the Lich King of the world, right?
Yeah, he's cuckoo banana pants.
Then why are you surprised?
Because
Turn
it
me down.
wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Well, it's just a uniform to designate what job they're supposed to be doing in case they stop doing that job.
So it's for him.
Yeah,
That sounds way too sane to be the right reason.
Yeah,
We can ask him.
Alright.
The one that's sweeping just ignores y'all and continues sweeping. And you see a skeleton come in that's wearing a suit of leather armor and carrying a wooden sword.
I don't think that sword's gonna do anything, buddy.
It walks up and it's like, turns around and walks off, like expecting y'all to follow it.
All right, we
that's what
follow it.
I continue going where I want to go.
Bye, Winky.
Where did you want to go?
To where the Lich King is.
How do you know where that is? You've never been here.
Are you
Ah,
just
fine,
going to
follow
the
the
last
guard.
place that we went?
It starts
He's going to the
walking
dining
off.
hall.
The dining hall's not even in Orm. Was it right? It was like outside of Orm, so
It's in the Royal Hold. That's where y'all met him, because he was stuck down there.
never mind. Then he might know where to go. If he rolls a 20, he makes it to the dining
All right.
room.
After a
Before
few
us.
minutes of following him, and you see random skeletons here and there, you see a couple beast skeletons too that are fairly new. And eventually, you make it to where the dining hall was, but everything has been removed, and it's now a proper throne room. And he's got piles and piles of coins and things littered around, but you notice that most of the coins are stacked on top of sacks that look like they're filled with straw.
Clever.
So he might have like 50 gold in a pile, but it looks like he's got hundreds. And you notice that there are a couple of new magical lamps on the wall that were not here previously.
Is he in here waiting?
He's sitting on the throne room, on the throne itself.
Looks
he's
good in
sitting-
here, cousin.
He's sitting weird. One leg is up on an armrest and he's leaned over. He's like, oh. He sits up. And he literally does that, like hopping it.
It looks pretty good here, cousin.
Hello, my friends.
I thought they were all going to
Hola.
be deep southern drawls for a second. Oh, hey there, cousin!
Hey there, cousin.
As the official Land of Orm dialect. Sorry, I interrupted.
I see you got some new lamps up there. How'd you work that out?
I saw them when y'all went somewhere and I figured out how to make them. I've been practicing my magic.
Ooh.
Is it still on the fritz?
Oh, I thought we fixed the magic here. Or
Yeah, but you didn't realize. Remember, he told you that he had been practicing magic for years but was horrible at it? The only thing he could actually do well was scurrying.
oh,
And he is basically one of the world's biggest experts on scurrying.
the torches he
What is
made.
that?
Where are these? Seeing things from a long distance away, like looking into a pail of water and being able to see. That
Oh, that's
you're
how he
taking a
spies on
bath.
us. Okay.
Yeah. So these torches, they're the torches from where?
They look like the ones that you found in some of the ancient ruins, the magical blue lights on the walls.
I see you got some new skeleton beasts out there.
I've been working on creating some new friends.
Yeah, not just copying yourself anymore.
Why'd
Well,
you
I
put him in
can't anymore.
clothes?
What was that?
I can't anymore. I don't grow
Interesting.
back.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, technically, I do grow back. I'm a lich, so, but it's different. It's a little weirder now. And I can't eat anymore, so it sucks.
So yeah, I'm assuming you've heard our conversation about this dragon that we're gonna have to be.
It would probably be better to ask him about what points in time was he not watching this show. Like, what seasons did you miss?
What episodes and which seasons?
Oh,
You
Did you
following
make
us
sure
on
to skip
Twitch?
these? Just skip the.
Yeah, I've been watching, when I'm not busy. Well, let me rephrase that. I kind of leave it running. I've gotten to the point where I don't even have to turn it off anymore. So it's kind of neat. Because if you notice that what his left eye is no longer an eye, it's a crystal orb.
So you just spy on us 24/7?
Well, it's kind of boring down here sometimes, and I'm only surrounded by a bunch of dead me's and some new dead friends, but
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. We're very entertaining.
yeah, y'all are hilarious. It's great. I haven't had this much fun in a long time.
Speaking of fun, think you can throw any of these scalies or provide any backup as we go down to Briggenmire?
Well, I think at this point in time, my best bet would be information.
Hmm.
As you know, I'm very good at scurrying. If you can find a piece of one of the creatures down there or know their true names, I can look in on them.
That's interesting.
It works best if you find a piece, like a fragment, a scale, a talon, anything left over from one of the creatures down there, but just knowing their name would actually work too.
Does anybody know the name of the creatures down there?
It's just-
do we know the name of the dragon? I thought we were told that at one point.
I
I
was
believe
just-
his name.
The black dragon? We weren't told that.
No, you were not told its name because there were several dragons mentioned and you don't know. Dragons generally don't give their official name. They give fake names too because they know the presence of scurrying and things like that.
Silver's not Silver's real name?
No.
Wow.
How did he come up with that? It's such a good name.
Most often, a dragon's name is not even speakable in another language.
Core, do you know Draconic? Are you working on that?
I've been trying to work on it, but I don't know it.
But here's the thing: if you are called by one name for so long, isn't that just your name?
Ooh.
Nope.
Dang.
Nice try, though. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is someone else that y'all could remember to talk to. Remember, you met the angel guy and his moon hag wife?
Hmm.
She has a lot of mystical abilities in dealing with telling the future.
Yeah, but they don't like us.
I don't recall that one.
Actually, they helped you.
They helped
but
us. They did. The only thing that he was worried about was that we would figure out that his wife was. Actually, this guy knows everything. His wife was actually a hag, and that we would want to kill her or something like that. So
Yeah, he was
After
just
we-
overprotective of his wife.
after we didn't do that, I think we're cool.
So we kind of know the path back up because we just passed through here, so we would kind of sort of know the way to get to the Hag Town.
Yeah, it's not too far on the road up there.
Hagtown we go.
Okay. All right.
Forgot to mention that one because I knew y'all would. Eventually, y'all would have figured it out, but that's just an option of a powerful creature you have met.
We may have just forgot about it.
So yeah, he basically tells you the more information you can get about Briggenmeyer, the easier it will be for him to look in on Briggenmeyer and tell you information about what's actively going on there right now.
Oh, I thought Pokemon was a person.
Like, if you find enough information about the dragon there, he could actually look inside of its lair where she is at to see what's going on in the heart of the castle. The goblins and the kobolds most likely won't be able to get that far, but they'll be able to scout the surrounding area and tell you about the exterior of the fortress.
And he's always watching us, so he'll know immediately if we find something.
Pretty much. Basically, he's got picture-in-picture watching y'all while he does things.
Picture in picture.
Like
Two tabs open.
He's got augmented reality while basically watching y'all while he does everything else.
He's wearing half of the VR headset.
One thing you do notice, in one of the corners of the room, he has begun working on that ritual that y'all found in the Kiminoan fortress.
Ooh. Forget what this was for.
The one that made undead.
That makes sense.
Can I tell if he's doing the version that we changed it to, or if he's doing the actual correct version?
Make an Arcana check.
Ooh.
You can tell he is doing most of it the right way, but there's one thing that's wrong in it.
What's wrong?
Kind of like, hey, Mickey, he's kind of got this this formula wrong. Do we need to tell him, or do we want to just?
I mean, what if he performs it and accidentally blows himself up?
Yeah, I mean, his goal is to take over the world. To be.
Or worse, blow up some of his friends that can't come back alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should tell him.
All right, go ahead.
Yo, Bo, I think some of this ritual's wrong.
He's like, what?
Yeah, Colt told me it was wrong.
On this part right here, the glyphs you have is off.
Oh, okay. He goes over there, studies it for a second. Oh, and he starts making some changes, and then looks at it again. Okay, and I don't need this over here, so he removes another section of it. And the part he removed is one of the evil things that the Kiminoans did that aren't necessary for making undead. Remember, the one that they had would convert living creatures into undead dominated by them. This only works on things that are already dead now.
Okay.
It's a good catch there, Core.
Yeah, gotta help your family out.
Is there a way that we could modify this ritual, or would there be a way to make it where... Here's my concern. let me put it this way. Beings and their spirits and their souls, they need to be able to transfer through the dead part, through the boneyard. And if you hold them back from that, that's not a good thing. So is there some way to like
Oh, this isn't
make
soul
it
magic. I don't like that. I don't.
so
I
is
don't like soul
so
magic.
these are unthinking beings
These are
and they
purely
have no
automated forces.
So I think he controls them, or
Yeah,
gives them orders.
I still don't like it, but it's not as bad.
Is this basically making bones like an automaton? Just like an automaton would be metal parts. These are just
I mean,
Yeah.
like these ones with the
These are
dresses and the
mindless
capes.
undead.
He
Bone
just gives,
golem.
he gives them
Literally, magic is the only thing keeping them up and standing. There is no spirit. There is no soul. There is no sentience. It's basically a permanent version of the animate dead spell that just temporarily creates one using a little bit of magic. And it is, as you say, the least iffy of the ways of doing it.
It's just a skeleton. Something
Yeah, basically everything he uses has already passed on. The way the Kiminoans do it, you're stuck in there forever. And the Kiminoans can even do it to undead that are sentient and convert them into one of theirs. Because they really love manipulating souls and basically damaging living creatures and entities.
That's messed up.
Yeah, there's a reason all of nature and the world together combined to wipe them out. That's the reason the whole area past the river is impassable.
Well,
you don't have any other information on what happened in Briggenmeyer?
No, I can tell you the fortress was not originally Kiminoan. I remember back in the day, it was a Iron Dwarf fortress, but they were all wiped out when the Kiminoans invaded and they took it. I heard about that a while back when I was trying to figure out how to do scurrying, because I would randomly scurry, I'd make up names. It's really confusing when you suddenly are watching some schmo in some area planting a field.
Smo.
Was that his name?
I don't know.
Smo?
It would actually make sense, and it would also be the thing that probably created the idiom. Like he wasn't even saying an idiom. He was saying the guy's name.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people were named Schmo.
Come on, more.
Goes through. I tried to watch him again, but it was a different person. Apparently, if you just know a random name, it randomly picks one of them.
You had another last name too.
I have to admit, it was kind of icky looking in on someone as they were doing something you didn't want to share with anyone else. Like, oh, don't start scurrying when someone's going to the bathroom. Oof.
Oh.
No one needs to see or hear that.
Oh no, change the channel. No. What? Another smoke. No, he's in the bathroom too. No.
Yeah, because when you scurry someone, the way you have to imagine it is imagine an invisible eye appears directly over their head, allowing you to look around and perceive from their immediate location.
Third person view.
Yep. Oh, and one time, a guy being eaten by, I think, a mountain lion or something like that. That was just weird.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I stopped doing random names after a while, then I got bored.
You should find like really unique names. See,
Well, you guys have been fun, so I don't have to worry about it.
true.
Okay.
Of course, I guess after you're all long dead and gone, I'll find somebody else. But you know,
Pretty sure a lot of us aren't gonna really die.
Did you know? Did you know Akar's mom? Was she like your aunt or something?
heard stories of her. I never met her because she was off in the Elven lands. From what I understand, most of her life was spent warring with the dwarves and trying to remove the dwarves from the face of the earth.
Wow.
While y'all talk about Akar's mom, if you notice, I'm not sure who would notice, but Hatala is visibly displeased and uncomfortable.
Do we know this?
Make a perception check.
All right.
Yeah, from what I recall, my mom never returned home. I don't know if she fell in battle or if she just found a place to stay or was trapped or what. I just don't remember ever coming home.
I forget how to make a perception check.
You've definitely noticed.
Okay, hold on. All right.
As they're working that out, I'm gonna ask. So she was fighting the dwarves. Was this all tied to like the dwarves and the Earth Titan and the Fire Titan or the Air Titan?
Well, the elves and the dwarves have been warring in one way or another for most of history. She was one of the few that refused to accept the peace treaty.
I thought she was from Orm. Were Orm part of the elves as well, or I thought they were from the
No.
Life Titan? Minish.
She was from the Life Titan. She was an elf.
Okay.
But her cousin, which was my lineage, was half elf. Yeah, from what I understand, there was even threats that she wanted to kill off my cousin, or her cousin, because she didn't think that they should sully the bloodline. But apparently she got over that when she got married. But then again, that didn't last long. It was only a few hundred years, and then she was gone again.
Could she still be alive?
From what I understand, she's a true immortal. But that doesn't mean she couldn't be felled in battle. She may have been the kind of immortal that is only immortal until someone removes her head or crushed her completely, whatever. There's lots of ways to totally kill something. Or she may be the kind that it doesn't matter what you do to her, she'll always come back. I don't know. No one ever found that because she's never been bested in combat.
Have you ever tried scrying on her?
Huh. No, I haven't. Although the more powerful the thing you're spying on, the more chances you have of letting them know you're spying on them.
How have we never noticed?
I'm not.
Well, remember, Core kept getting weird feelings until he realized he was being watched.
Yeah, to be honest, we did. And that's why we know now. Eventually we knew. But I don't really think he was trying to hide it from us either.
No. He didn't have tact, so he couldn't care less. I mean,
And we don't.
I might try it, but if I do, I'm going to try it from somewhere else. I don't want to give her directions to my house here.
You think that she could reverse your scrying? Is that what you're afraid of?
She would most likely be a lot more powerful than me, so I wouldn't be surprised if she knew exactly where I was scurrying from.
Yeah, I see how this goes. He scries her, she sees him, she comes here, we're all dead. except for a car somehow, probably.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Except
family
in some other
reunion.
body.
Well, I'm wondering if she never came home because she was torn by the fact that my father was also a half elf, and I making me a half elf, and she loved us, and couldn't go through with it and just stayed away. Was my worries.
Or
So maybe if we do meet again, she wouldn't hesitate. I don't know.
To go.
do you think that she'd be willing to kill you? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, from what from the story that I heard that, you know, seemed to be over it when she met my dad, but you know, over a few hundred years, things can change, and it's even been even longer since she's been gone, possibly. So,
Not to mention, at the time she met your dad was known as the most prolific assassin ever. So she may have liked that.
so yeah, yeah.
He's the most prolific soldier ever.
Those are my concerns. Just wanted to voice those out there.
We gotta get all of our parents together one day. We'll find Hatala's dad off in the world somewhere. We'll
Look,
bring him in.
no,
We'll
my
get Car's
dad's-
mom.
What are
We'll
you
get
talking
my
about?
farmer
dad's
parents.
dead.
We'll get Winky's Badgers in. Eve.
Not-
The folks that raised
To
her.
be honest,
Well,
I'd rather
not
meet my
listening.
dad first.
Dead though, I thought.
Unless he found the milk.
Oh, what?
The milk.
Oh, I thought he said melt.
What?
Well, I don't.
I don't know if
know
my
if he's dead or
mom
not.
needs
I
to be
just know that
meeting
I don't
any
believe
of y'all's parents. My mom's very calm, very chill. She just likes her home, still stays there, relaxes. I barely remember my dad. And
My parents
he's
can
dead,
bring like
so-
some tomatoes and greens or something.
Why?
Field
No,
peas.
I'm not going to say that. That would be mean. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it.
Technically speaking, Akar's brother is his dad. Most likely based on the way the memories work in their family.
That's messed up.
Is that why I was talking with a southern
No, it's a special form of reincarnation, so it doesn't apply any icky thoughts to it. Hi, Bud. There was a sky boom. I know. Do you want to come underneath here?
A sky boom. Oh no.
Yeah, there was a giant tornado, lightning boom a second ago.
Tornado
Lightning
is
boom.
different.
Yeah,
tornado
totally different thing.
Spinny, spinny, spinny.
Whoa! Oh yeah, and just as a bit of warning, I have been having intermittent router rebootings, so there's a chance that I could lose connection for like a minute or two.
It'd be so funny if it was right then.
I could lose connection for a minute or. So yeah. You good, bud? You come over here. You come over here. Are you good now?
All right. Are we good with him? Do we?
Yeah. If you find more information, he'll be useful again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got like 50 other people to meet.
So are we gonna go north?
The next place was Hagtown. When we originally planned this, after he said we should do that.
Right.
Hagtown, that's kind of, I think that's an offensive thing to call
It has an actual city name.
How about
it. The
no
Forgotten-
memory town?
It's called Norrland.
No more memory?
Called Neverland. Neverland makes you forget.
Noraland. Noraland.
No memory. Oh crap! I forgot my key. Is that what it's called?
It's called Dude, Where's My Car?
Sweet.
Where's my car?
What's mine say?
Dude, where's my?
Dude, where's my card? No, dude, where's my memory? Which was really what the movie was about. So they didn't remember.
All right. Do you want to spend the night here? You do have about 4 hours of sun left before nightfall.
Yeah, sounds good.
I guess so. Waka waka.
Okay. Y'all sleep the night without any major issues.
Nice.
At night, I do want to be looking out for wolves or any of
Wolves.
vicious kind of creatures. Kind of working with Jack too.
What?
Trying to remember some stuff I was working on. I feel like I finished all of my projects,
You have.
which means I probably want to start on something new.
Hey, have me and Nita finished? We finished Core Sword, right?
Yeah.
And we gave it to him.
Just tell me about it, Mickey.
You asked for this, right?
Yeah.
Remember, I believe there's like a deer horn or something on there.
On the
That's the handle.
as the handle.
Something.
Oh, okay. Gotta get the feel of it. Can still get 2 hands on it. Okay.
Eve, Winky, and Hatala, can you deafen?
Okay.
If you need to talk, we can actually go on a different channel.
All right, we can do that. Yeah.
Well, this.
So let's go to Whisper.
Why not?
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna.
It's
Core's
it's gonna
Core's
just gonna
Core's
cause.
coming.
The
Well, no,
stream's
we need
gonna
to-
get
The
wonked.
stream needs to be able to
Yeah, let's just
hear
deafen.
what y'all are saying. So I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah.
Who all needs to?
Everyone but me.
Okay, I'll just take my.
Me,
head.
you, and Core,
Oh,
Oh,
because this would be like middle of the night type thing.
the middle
Hold
of
on.
the night.
I forget how to deafen.
well, we can do it. I can do it.
So yeah, Core. I just woke up after my 2-hour power nap. I started having this weird dream, but it ended as soon as I woke up, and I couldn't get any recollections of what was going on. But I just wanted to tell you, I don't want anybody else to know right now.
No, I
But
did
I
feel.
know you and I.
Something did feel off. It was weird. I wasn't dreaming though. It just had a feeling.
Yeah, it's like it started happening, and then I woke up. I don't know if it's because I only sleep 2 hours now.
Do you
or-
remember the dream at all?
No, it's how dreams are sometimes.
Yeah,
You just
I get people talking to me, escape stuff, and
Yeah, I just know that it was weird, and when I was trying to kind of get my grasp on what was going on, I woke up. So
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know.
uh,
I don't want to worry everybody else.
no, I mean the dreams actually have been helpful to have. I mean, as much as helpful as it can be, and weird and terrifying, but it took me
Yeah.
a while to really get into it.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted them deafened is because this would be a me and you conversation at night. So,
I'm still in it. I'm still talking to you.
but they would be asleep, so that's why. Just thought it was interesting.
All right, y'all ready? I'm gonna undeafen them.
We're good. You're muted.
All right, everybody's undeafened.
No one is here.
No one is here.
This is always what we ran into when we played Paradox Perfect. All right, everyone, take your headphones off. We'll do this one at a time. All right, next person. Next person.
We each had like a 1, 2, 3 thing too, and it's like
The deafen thing is clearly a better way to do it because everybody can just keep
Yeah.
their headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will deafen everyone who's not involved in the conversation so that way it'll still be going without messing up his stream.
I did note down. The notes say at this point, Akar and Core likely had a conversation, and then I put who doesn't know it because that's all I can do.
Yeah.
that's good. That'll work. Yeah.
Wait, how did you get to where Core can't hear it, but also the stream can?
I would take my headphones off instead of deafening me.
Yeah, that would be the one time. Although once we get that streaming thing set up, that could do it. We'd have to have an extra channel in here.
Yeah.
But we're not going to deal with that.
Not tonight. We got a lot to do. Lots of ways to go.
Okay, so y'all travel for the full day without anything major going on. Y'all sleep through the night. In the night, you can hear some animals, but they're not coming anywhere near your group. They're just out roaming around doing animal things as usual. It's ordinary animals from the sound of, basically on a hunt.
On this next night, I'm gonna catch a car. Like maybe I've been thinking about it. Maybe you just need to take your ring off for a couple nights. Give it more time. Maybe you just need more.
Yeah, but then I gotta wait a whole week to get everything back. I mean,
But you may be missing critical information. Something to think about.
yeah,
Something to think about.
maybe. Yeah, it's
All
an idea. I don't know if I want to wait another whole week, but I guess since we're doing mostly travel, I guess I could.
All right. About midday noon, you pass through Helgus. Do y'all want to do anything in Helgus or just keep going?
I don't
Where's-
think Helgus is
where-
on the list
I don't know what
No,
Helgus
unless
is.
we need supplies.
The only thing y'all did in Helgus was y'all talked to those half-orcs.
I don't remember that.
They were the only ones that were allowed to come and go in some of the places.
Oh yeah, because a lot of this was locked down because of the plague. If I'm remembering
Have these
correctly.
towns started opening back up?
Yeah, in the summertime, they're as busy as always, but they're practicing isolation from strangers. Like, they don't have as much direct contact with anyone anymore. But they're still open to business. All right, so y'all just pass through. And it's a safe travel. You can tell that y'all are about 2 days out from the new moon again.
Okay.
sounded so loud.
I think I'll just be riding in the cart for now.
Super Mario Kart.
So, Mo, did you take your ring off?
I'm gonna take it off before we sleep for the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ho, 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 ho. Ring.
Interesting.
Okay. That night, nothing crazy happens. You do hear the sound of something flying overhead, but it's heveling to the west over the mountains.
Probably nothing to worry about. Let's just keep
Oh,
going.
hold on. Can I identify what it is?
No, it's out of visual range.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a spotlight, so you can't see something flying a mile above at night.
How about binoculars?
Don't worry about it, Winky.
Oh, fine.
Not even to have to do anything.
Man, it's crazy.
Oh, hey, did you start? Are you still doing your journal before we go into this town?
Oh, me? Yeah.
Is this day
Yeah.
3 already, or
What do you mean day
have we
3?
lost any days yet?
I look through my journal worriedly. It's not a word, but you know what I mean.
It'll work. Worryful.
Yeah, worryful.
Okay. So it is the morning, and y'all will come to Norland about 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock.
So, guys, last night I had a dream, and it was something. I saw a beach, and I heard a voice. Couldn't really make out everything it was saying, but um, said something about find a beach near your heart, and a voice, and something about it being all right. Uh, I feel like it might be talking about seashells of some sort. And you know, the
Fine.
dream ended with somebody leaving a room, leaving my room, a room, or something. I was in a room, but something left, and that's how it. That's kind of how it ended.
Find a beach near your heart.
Yeah.
What was the other part?
Find a beach near your heart, and a voice, and it being all right. It's pretty much all I can. So. I'm assuming it has something to do with seashells, listening to seashells or something about seashells on the beach. I don't know.
All right, so Akar, you're saying that last night, and as I say this, I pull up my hand and I'm fiddling with something in my hands. It's going over my knuckles and down through my hand, and just as I say this. So last night you laid down, you went to sleep, and you had a dream.
Yes.
And this dream was about a beach, and I'm just fiddling with this thing in my hand. It's just going through my fingers and down through the face. It's not ever going on my fingers or anything, just going through my hand and through the knuckles and everything. And so there's a beach, and then at the end of the dream, you said it was like somebody left a room,
Yes. They left my room, the room
left your room.
that I was in. Yes.
And as he says that, I stop and I'm holding his ring in my hand. Probably because they had this.
Maybe. Yeah. I took my ring off last night.
Okay. I noticed you didn't sleep. All I can tell you right now is the ring seems to be normal. It doesn't seem to be cursed. I was a little worried about you. Here you go.
I appreciate it.
You stole his ring?
Look, I was worried. It's not normal.
Were
Things
you
went different,
watching
and
him
I
while
noticed.
he slept, or snuck into his room while he slept?
What?
Y'all are
mean,
still doing guard duty every night,
Yeah,
so
it
everyone
was
takes
guard.
turns.
It was weird. Like normally you guys
She's
are
also
awake.
very
You're
stealthy.
there throughout all the time. I thought it was weird when I noticed that he was sleeping longer than normal, and I thought maybe that something happened with his ring. So I was checking it because I've
Oh
got a
yeah,
little
he
bit of
didn't
acumen to
tell
see
us
with
who's
that.
taking it off.
I didn't know anything was going on with it. I just knew that he was sleeping more, and I thought maybe if he had the ring, I noticed he didn't have it on. I was just making sure that there wasn't because he's had weird things happen with rings and
Yeah, there was one that
stuff.
made him
So
really
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
I guess I can let everybody in on it now. The other night I had a weird dream, but I couldn't really ever like before I could figure out what was going on, it ended. So Core suggested to take the ring off so that I could get longer time of sleep. So maybe I could.
Yeah, that's funny because both of you constantly would get dreams that would help us on our adventure. Did y'all like subconsciously decide to get rings that made you sleep less? Or do you think that it had to do with this whole idea that you were tired of getting dreams?
Well, I got the ring of sustenance so that I could stay up with Core
I
because I
was
was afraid of his werewolfism, and I wanted to
Oh,
keep
I
an eye
thought you
on
were
him.
gonna. I thought this was about to get to seducing stuff. Okay, we're good.
No, 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 no. So
I was about to get jealous.
if I recall,
I'm good. I'm good.
if I recall correctly, his is because of his werewolfism,
Me,
not a
that's
ring.
not why I got it.
He got it so he could read more.
He
He
could
made
read
that
books all the
very
time.
clear.
Okay. I didn't know it was a ring. I would have forgotten it was a ring.
You forgot what was a ring? That his
I
word
mean,
forgot,
was a
that, I
ring?
forgot that the reason that he only has to sleep 2 hours. I thought it was because of him being a werewolf.
Ah,
oh,
Okay.
So that's why I got the ring, was to be able to,
he's like, he doesn't have this.
Even
This
though
is
we have, like,
totally a
matching
new
rings.
thing I just found.
okay. So y'all travel to Norland.
Oh gosh.
All right, you make it to town. And the town looks a little bit more busy and boisterous than it was previously. And you can
What's-
definitely tell that summer's in swing here.
I remember.
Why is summer swinging at the town?
The farms are bustling, and it looks like they've expanded their farms because last winter was a little harsher than normal.
Leave the.
So where do y'all go to Norland first?
Well, we can either go to the outskirts where there's Azamar and Hag live, or at least the last place we remember them living. Or is there any place in town we want to go? Do you want to check in on the school for any reason? We can do a
I mean, we
shakedown
can
of all
always-
the teachers this time. Start with.
Is there any reason that they might be willing to help out with the Black Dragon themselves? I mean, we can always just let them know, hey, this is
Yeah,
something we're
maybe-
about to do.
Hey, thanks for sending the last group. Into another group.
I mean, that's their choice. But yeah, we can tell them. And then, of course, I think that I don't remember the huntsman's name, but the huntsman and his wife probably be very beneficial to them. But
Okay. So where do you want
let's
to
do
go
that.
first?
I'd say the barracks, to talk to the leader there, the lady there. I can't remember her name
The
right
school?
now. Yeah.
Althena? Wasn't it Althena?
something.
Yeah, yeah, sounds right.
Let me see if I have it in the note here. I don't have her name listed here. But I do have the military academy, so hold on a second. Let me check my notes. I have in-game notes.
Can we
Okay.
just use a microwave?
Nope, I don't have any notes in here. Okay. Anyways, you go find the headmistress. And you can see that the school is in full service. Their classes are full size. They have lots of students in all ages. And it doesn't look like a war-raggled place anymore. So what do you do?
Do we have to go through the checkpoints and say hi to the guards and
There's no checkpoints. It's just a school.
just to school?
There are people standing at attention, like they're waiting for visitors and things like that. But it's not. It doesn't look like a military checkpoint anymore.
Go up to them. Hey, you talk to your headmistress. Althena here.
Oh, don't worry about it. I know who you are. You can come on in.
Get it? Still have the same quarters, same office.
Yeah, don't worry. And one of the younger boys comes up and snaps to attention and starts leading you there. And he takes you to the office and he knocks on the door, then stands to the side as you hear, "Enter,
It's Althea Garrus.
Althea."
Yep.
Enter.
We open the door. We come in.
Oh, it's you. Nothing wrong again, is it?
I mean, it's only our second day here. Did we forget something again?
It's our first day here.
Did we lose that day?
What? We just got here.
I thought we'd been here for 2 weeks.
Core, You best not be messing with us.
She throws a piece of fruit at Core.
Hey, hey, long time no see.
Let's do it.
I see you
You
made
stayed
some
at the
changes
court.
around here.
Yeah, we're back in normal business now.
Good, that's good. Um,
What can I do for you?
well, we're kind of looking around, trying to get some info on some ancient black dragons, Kaminoans. Uh, that we're trying to recruit some folks maybe to help us distract them, but maybe not necessarily have to fight them, but we're just looking for if there was anyone that could help us with this. It's in Brigham Meyer. You know where Fort Walsh is? Brigham Meyer is.
I've heard of it. One of the battles down there, yeah.
Do you have some history on the battle that took place there?
Well, no, our history teacher's gone now.
Oh, that guy.
He would probably actually have some knowledge of that.
Okay.
Your history teacher's history.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't really talk to me much. A lot of things he didn't ask me. Anyhow.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
You guys haven't had any problems here with any more hags or anything, right?
No, it's been business as usual around here. In fact, the town's been a little bit more prosperous than usual.
So it's because probably everybody remembers what they're doing.
That is generally helpful.
They get all the deaths and all the people sorted.
I believe so, and we haven't had much of an issue with the plague in a while.
Good.
It's good.
There's still a few people infected, but for the most part, it's just travelers that have it.
So it'd be probably pretty beneficial to catch it at this point.
Unless it kills you, but
Unless
yes.
it kills you, that's
Yeah, you're one of those ones that gets afflicted with it.
Yep. Afflicted with it.
Well, do you have demon parts? Or
What? Have demon parts?
yeah,
Have demon parts? Didn't we
well,
all
that's what they mean.
contract the plague?
Having the plague and being afflicted by it
Oh, I
are
see what
two
you're saying.
different things.
Yeah. Some people turn demonic.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I'm
I
good.
mean,
I'm
I didn't
good.
know
I
if you
thought we were
had
just talking
grown
about
a
catching.
tail and have been hiding it, or something. That's all.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're very likely about to go on and a very dangerous attack on Brigham Meyer for
Yeah.
information and knowledge to stop this world-ending event from occurring. And we know
We do
your
have
town.
a few classes that are ready to graduate yet. Our next oldest class will probably graduate sometime next year because we lost so many of our highest recruits
Do you guys?
when they marched south.
Do we want to just wait? That seems like a lot of effort to have to go do it right now.
I mean, who knows how long it's going to take us to hit every place we got to hit, though.
Yeah, I mean we could take our time getting there.
If it takes us that long to set up everything, we'll send you a message and let you know. How's that sound?
Message what you said.
Okay. Sounds good, I guess.
Y'all haven't had any issues with werewolves in the country, have you?
No, those are mostly off to the north in hills.
Okay.
It's a well-known issue in the region. They generally avoid the roads because most of the northern Jarl's troops have silver-edged weaponry.
Yeah. Silver edge weapon.
Although now everyone in this town has silver and cold steel.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah, after the whole issue this winter, they decided to upgrade the troops. Our Jarl spent a lot of money on it, but he wanted to make sure that we were going to be safe.
Now this isn't still part of the northern, or is this a separate land?
Remember, each of these towns have their own Jarl.
Yeah. Okay, but it's not. This is beyond the northern.
The Northern Kingdom is a loosely affiliate. Basically, it's a each town has its own Jarl, and all of them get together and elect one of them to be the official head of the North, even though it's basically by treaty, not by actual their kingdom. That's why the hands were so busy up here, because there's a lot of infighting and other things that have to be regulated to keep everyone's safe and together without them being a strong, organized kingdom with a king.
Okay.
Kind of like in Skyrim, where each town has a Jarl. But instead of having an official king, they just basically, one of them takes turn being the king for the year.
That seems like. Never mind.
All right. Do we want to go talk to the huntsman?
Plan. I'm a little nervous to be in this city now.
Oh, I thought you were physically itching because of
I am actually
because you're
itching.
going to your eyes right now, and you told us to.
Don't pull your eyes out.
Yeah.
You don't got no anime
You don't
eyes.
have
You
to
can't.
cares.
Did you say you don't have anime eyes?
Yeah, in Naruto they're like light bulbs.
Yeah, you don't have spares. Okay, so you find where the Huntsman Cottage was, and you can see a line of people out the door to it.
I thought you were about to say it was gone. It was a dream.
There's about 6 or 7 different farmers and farmers' wives and things like that in line, and you see one of them leaving with a satchel of herbs and maybe a small potion, something like that.
Man, we're gonna have to wait in line. I hate lines.
I'll wait in the line if y'all want to do something else. I can
Yeah.
work on story while I wait in line.
Just gonna play under
Ow.
this tree.
It's moving pretty fast. It's going to be less than 30 minutes of wait.
Yeah, I'll just lay here.
They'll just call our name when our buzzer goes off.
We get one of those coasters.
Finally, you come to the door and you see the huntsman standing there eyeing you all suspiciously.
Hi.
Hola.
And you see his wife sitting there. Oh, they're back. I told you we would be seeing friends again.
We do. I mean, we kind of bring good news, but also like we're here to ask for possible help.
You seek information.
Read my mind.
How did you know that?
You came looking for me when normally you don't like monsters. And you notice the whole line is gone and there's no more village people here. And the huntsman.
YMC. Sorry, my Payton came out.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Village people.
So
I
what
don't know
can
if
I
he
help?
knows that.
So confused.
We seek information on black dragons, Briggenmeyer specifically, and if you're willing to help us go into the city and stuff.
I am not a fighter, and I cannot fight dragons. My husband can. He might be able to help you if you can convince him. But my magics might be a little bit more useful of gathering information for you, because that's what I'm good at.
We
That would-
wanted information, yeah.
I've heard of this fortress. It is in the rumors of many kingdoms and places. I do know the great worm that lives there rules it with an iron fist, and her children.
Do you know its true name by chance?
Sorry, what were you saying, Winky?
I heard worm.
Yes, great worm is what you call an elderly dragon.
Oh,
Not like worm, but like worm. It's
WYM. Worm.
oh,
Basically, it's the most powerful monster classification in the world. I do not know its true name, but I do know one of its children's names. From what I understand, most every black dragon in this realm can trace their lineage to her.
oh.
She always keeps at least 5 or 6 of her children around her at all time. And one of them, her eldest son, he's a bruiser. He's well known for taking out towns and doing whatever he pleases at her command. At least on one occasion, he actually almost leveled that fortress down there nearby.
Fort Walsh.
That's it.
man.
Fort
Suddenly
Wash.
picking up accents.
Wait. Who said
ahead.
that?
You're doing an accent too.
What?
It's just so funny.
Continue.
Would you be able to find any kind of like fragment of this dragon or a scale that it might have?
I know the people at Fort Walsh may actually have some of that pieces. At least of some of the children, because they have been in conflict with them before. She turns around and whispers something, and the huntsman goes to a cabinet, opens it up, and pulls out a box. And as soon as he starts moving the box, a car fills it.
Oh. I didn't know they had a car. Automobile.
What you got in that box?
Something I was trying to figure a way to get rid of, but then I see you.
So you know.
I see you.
Is she talking about the forehead coming out of his chest? Is that his name? Is it you?
And you hear the huntsman mutter, "Yeah, illusions do nothing for her." In fact, I probably should have warned you. She'll look straight through you to see the you inside.
Whoa.
Well, I mentally don't have anything to hide. I don't know what's in there that you see.
Maybe you don't remember much, so.
See the
Speaking of
echoes
that,
of your daddy.
any
That's
chance you can
interesting.
see memories that he can't remember?
I've met him. Or at least one of him.
I was about to say which one.
I don't know. I don't have a lifespan like you mortals. Neither does my husband. That's why we get along so well.
Uh-huh.
So would you like for me to get rid of that for you?
I know you can, please.
Yes, I will. I want to grab it.
All right. They empty out a
Give me-
stone on you, and at first you see that it's a gray stone, but as soon as you touch it, you can hear like a little as the gray purges out of it, and then it melts.
So they just had a Quillith infected Death Stone just sitting in their kitchen
Remember,
cabinet.
there was an issue with those while y'all were here.
Yeah, but in their kitchen cabinet, not even a locked box.
He couldn't even sense it until they pulled it out. So there's obviously some protections going on there.
This is the
Okay.
black pepper. Makes his nose sneeze if he gets too close to it.
Once the box is empty, the one thing you do see is that it's lined with demon skin.
Ugh.
Oh, that might work.
That normally wouldn't stop your sensing. Something else blocked that.
Probably the cabinet.
He's on fire today.
Oh, and the guy's like, the huntsman shakes his head, and she looks at him. He's like, reaches in his pocket and unwraps a little bit of it looks like cloth, almost like leather, but you can notice as he opens it up, it's like it's fading in between realities as it opens.
What the heck?
It looks a lot like the ethereal wood that you found.
Where did we
That's
find
interesting.
that?
And as soon as he opens it up, Core, you feel it.
Hey,
Or don't burn it.
what do we have here?
This was mine, but I'm giving it to you.
But we'll take a glance at what he has there.
It's a fairly sizable chunk of Fire Titan.
Okay.
Pound of it.
Is there any reason that we should hit the fire scar before we go?
Why did he have
Or
this in
the
his pocket?
hand?
You said this was yours? Were you making use of it?
No, she won't let me. It's too dangerous. Although
Well-
my species is not affected the same as yours.
You wanted to absorb?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and...
Do it into my sword.
I've never tried putting it
You-
into a sword.
But I couldn't figure the
no.
magic. She wouldn't tell me.
We have core. We have the way to do it.
The machine.
And you hear her. They got it all wrong. That's a paltry way of using them stones. It's a repeatable way, but it's not as good as what you could do.
What could you do?
Yeah.
You could put the stone itself in the sword.
I did that. Could I get like a D12 instead of just 1 point?
Well,
He goes straight to breaking the fourth wall. Just meta.
I
Yeah.
wonder what happened.
I'm not helping you gamble.
She got you. She got you.
It's true.
I wonder.
know. Problem with it.
Yo, you guys remember when I touched that water stone and it got on my armor? You think if I punch somebody, it will do more damage now?
You'd have to run into them with your armor, which you can do.
It's just my arm.
You're like,
I thought you said
arm
run into
piece.
your armor.
Yeah, it's my armor that's on my arm.
you're gonna like clothesline him?
I gotta go.
I don't know, Winky.
Clothesline their
Okay.
knees.
Catch him in a headlock, then DDT. Just
He needs stilts.
gonna come off. He's gonna climb on top of a boulder and come off the top. And just drop an
I
elbow.
think we could craft you some actually, Winky. Winky, do you want to be taller? Like
Ooh,
no
you know,
kidding.
could
we
we
get you
do-
stilts, like these just little
Could we?
like they don't even have to be sticks. So you can make them out of some heavy duty stuff.
Could we do this? Do stilts, but like the retractable stilts, so I can just go really high.
We'd
and
have
go low again?
to put the extending runes on them.
Why can't they be mechanized?
Well,
I
Extending
mean,
them
I'm
make
not
it so
a
that he can hit them from across the room.
I'm not a blacksmith or an engineer. I'm just throwing out ideas.
yeah, but I think we could do this. I think this is a viable thing, and I think that it would be. I don't know how useful it actually would be, but I think it would be cool.
As they're having that conversation, I want to kind of go over to the kitchen counter with the firestone and take out my sword, put it on the counter, and like, I don't know, maybe just kind of set the stone on there, see if there's anything happening. Maybe try to sharpening it with the firestone. And I'm just gonna start messing around with it.
No, Chad, it's not that bad.
Just call
Do
him
you know
Chad.
how? My true
The same,
name.
the same way you absorb them, you have to put them out. You're one of the only ones that can do it without needing magic.
I try.
The power
Remember when you
all
manifested your hand? Remember when you manifested your hand?
To try doing that into the sword. Through the sword.
Just go bing.
Basically, you have to absorb that one and then try to channel it into your sword.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'd
Don't
like
put it in the
to give
hilt.
it a go while I have, adult supervision, so to speak.
Try channeling it into the blade part, not the hilt part, because you might screw up.
Make a roll with your fire crafting.
Made out of bone
Your
antler
fire
now.
skill.
I'm going to tell you right now, Needup's probably trying to channel every bit of everything into his stuff right now.
Waka waka.
Can you give me some aid?
Oh, you don't need nothing. You don't need nothing.
Wow.
Dang.
Your sword is so imbued with this firestone that when you hit somebody with it, their soul is gone.
It's so imbued with the firestone. Hatala set on fire.
I don't like that.
Randomly, Hatala becomes a flaming redhead.
That's cool. Got a cactus thing going over here.
Okay. You channel your energy, and then you can feel how the stones melt into you. The stones melt out of you, flow through your hands and into the blade. And as the blade, they just start infusing to the blade. The blade has that natural fire because whenever you pull it out, it lights up. You're basically holding the blade as it's burning, and your hands are getting really hot, and it is doing damage.
Whoa, let go.
This is normal.
You can do
It
it.
doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
All right, you take 15 damage from doing that, but the sword has absorbed about a pound of stone material.
So it's
Dang,
not
does
an
that make a sword
agile
heavier?
weapon.
I'm
Do you continue trying or do you stop?
keep going, keep going.
I think he's telling me to keep going. That's got to be the right thing to do.
Struggle through the pain. You got like 160 HP. You're fine.
If anything, Winky, we're over here designing you some extendable legs.
Oh yeah.
The huntsman's like looking over our shoulder, like they came about a black dragon. What is this? My new project is designing extendable legs for Winky, though.
I will help. I want it
It's
to be
gonna happen.
retractable.
Yeah, extending and retracting. You'll be able to be like, I am now taller.
I am
shorter.
now 8'5".
You take 24 more damage, and you can see the flames are getting hotter. And you can feel more of the stones leaving your body.
I was about to just have a hand.
Do I feel like I'm at like 50% or
You have no idea because you've never done this before.
never done this before?
You got this, bro.
Hey, Core, make sure you're keeping it weighted properly. You don't want to like hold it up and just have it fall over.
Okay. Might need some healing in a minute. Just ignore the
fine.
barbecue smell.
Your hands look more like skeletons now, but you're okay.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep going.
You can see right through your hand. Oh, it rolled on there for a second and came back.
Oh my god. Nice job, Eve.
You feel the soothing power of her magic flow through you and heal you. Do you want to try a hero point to re-roll that roll?
Yeah, this seems like a good thing to do.
You got this. Nice.
All right.
The huntsman and the other lady just standing there.
You take 55 more damage.
No, if anything, it's more like the Willow scene where she's trying to get him. She's going, Core, Core, keep going, keep going.
That was weird.
This-
Don't never do that again.
It's what it was. Just,
Hold on. You notice that your hand that has the red gems on it when you want is now fully out, and it is hurting even on that.
Okay,
Keep going, bro.
I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna call it here and just kind of
No.
take stock with where I'm at. I kind of examine the sword, kind of examine myself, try to figure out where I'm at.
You're standing in grass. That's
I
where
thought I
you're at.
was at like the kitchen counter.
You're in
I'm-
the kitchen.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I'm like over
curious,
the
is-
stove. Just I knew the stove was gonna come into play
Is the
someday.
sword
Fireplace, 'cause it's-
crystallizing or like becoming calcified or like is it losing structure or anything like that
Word
as it's
that you're done does not feel like it is any heavier than it was when it began.
Okay.
hit something.
The blade of it looks like it is no longer made of steel anymore. It looks like the blade itself, you know how it's covered in flames? It looks like the blade itself is made of crystallized jagged fire.
Oh, that's cool.
And the flames still lick from it, but the flames look hotter than ever.
Your core hit something.
Come here, Winky.
Let me test this weapon on you.
I think that would be
Flynn he slaps you on the back really hard.
oof.
That's a cool sword.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you can make one for me.
Yeah, hopefully it won't hurt quite as much, but I'll give it a go for sure.
And nothing worth doing doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I like that mentality.
I toss Core one of my old daggers. Why don't you put a little bit in that for him?
That's
supposed
puny.
to-
What are you talking
I'm
about?
supposed to be gathering up all the fire stuff for the fire titan.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
The fire.
You want to give him something if he wants one.
Nah, I'll gather some stones.
Yeah, I
Okay.
gotta.
How to find them.
Supposed to be making all the mini into one, something like that.
Fire Titan when we finally meet him. But why'd you use me to make all those weapons?
Oh my gosh.
You can feel that you drained quite a lot of the stones in you out.
Okay.
At least you have a way to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well, he had it before. He would go to the hand.
The hand's on him now. I'm just gonna get rid of these.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Should I?
Yep, hands on the hand.
Yeah. Should I try to like finish this off?
I mean, does it look done? Do you feel like it's done?
I mean, there's more that I could put into this.
I mean,
Now,
if
maybe-
you can do it.
Once a sword has been stopped, once an item is stopped, you can't do it anymore other than reabsorb it.
Oh, okay.
Again, maybe you wanna use it on
another
3
day.
other
We'll
items.
have to reabsorb and then try again later.
Try again.
But what if that
so,
breaks the
so
sword?
basically, you grab the sword and you go. Nothing happened that time, and we're like, it's okay, buddy. Sometimes it happens to people.
I just imagine it's like a DBZ power up. Ah!
I'm gonna have to start the spirit bomb all over again. It's gonna be another
And I
7
imagine
episodes.
sitting there going,
Sorry, I'm gonna need your stove for just a little while longer.
Order and stoves. We need to get a core and airship made completely out of stoves.
I never repaired that stove we got from Orm.
We've been busy.
I think I threw it in the garbage.
Oh, that was like special metal or something, wasn't it?
We did something with it.
it's back at the tree. Y'all haven't done anything with it since you put it there.
Yeah, we
Because
put it back in the
remember,
tree.
it would not fit in Core's bag of holding at the time, so it didn't get blown up.
Definitely won't fit now.
I don't want to
Gone.
blow up another one.
He's got a new bag of holding.
Yeah, but that would still. It's a magical item.
We're gonna have to get like a magical spell of hearing for me. Keep losing my hearing with all these explosions.
Yeah.
The spell would
Surprised you
be
haven't
called
lost an arm.
hearing aid.
I like that.
But basically, she will give you the name of 2 of the children. And she does. She gives you the name. She writes them down for you because there's nothing you can say or understand to know them.
Yo, why does this say? I don't know what that says.
I'm pretty sure.
Boogaloo.
Okay. I think. Are we good here?
Yeah. Bye.
Feel free to return if you ever need more information. In the future, it will cost you.
Noted.
You helped our town, so I was happy to help you once.
Alright.
I mean, he also took care of that Death Stone you wanted taken care of.
We
What?
got one help. They helped us a lot. Just leave the.
Okay.
Because we also took one of their stones, so that's fair.
Not gonna argue with any of that.
And we're broke, so if you piss them off, you can't pay them.
Next place is the island.
Go back.
Okay. So do you bother going anywhere else, or do you just use the doorway in her house?
If there's nowhere, is there anywhere else up north we need to go? Do we want to talk to? Weren't there like giants or something that we had befriended?
That was back with Prince Ormandius. Should have done that before we left his house. They're at the Northern Hill.
Oh,
I mean, we could go back down there.
And from what most likely their place was leveled during the volcanic uprising in Orm, and they've moved.
yeah, and we don't know where they are. Maybe we just let them be. That's kind of a lot to deal with.
I'm hungry. You guys want to get some food?
I think the only other cities around here, I mean, there's my hometown down in the King's Hold, but I don't know there's a reason to go there.
Tomatoes.
What?
There are good tomatoes.
That's what you said before. Your parents would give us tomatoes.
We
or
can
something.
just go ahead and start with the invites.
I don't. We would have to if we're gonna do a parent meetup. It has to be in my hometown because mom's not going anywhere.
Okay. Well, it'll have to be later in the year because it'll have to be after the harvest.
Yeah, I still have to
And-
find my dad and mom. And
Well, your dad's your brother.
well, I still don't know where he's at. So
We know where he's at. Just follow the ravens.
Your dad's a Tachi.
And he's no longer stuck in the Deadlands.
You freed him. That's your fault. Sorry.
So, yeah, I think we're good in the north.
Yeah. So island, Eve, you ready to talk with your folks?
Waka waka.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so y'all take the portal to the island.
Oh yeah.
As y'all are leaving through the portal, you hear the wife say, like, "Oh, been a long time since I've seen one of them."
What? I don't know what she's talking about. Okay.
Portal.
I think she's talking about the
Oh.
portal, Winky.
I thought she was talking about one of us.
A gnome?
Did you think she was looking at your rear end?
Probably a gnome.
What? No.
Okay, y'all are now in the family library. And you see a bunch of the Order of the Keys people moving around, and they're fixing up the books, and the library's already looking nicer, even though they've still got a lot more work to do.
Since we have the Order of the Keys people here, if we could stop one of them and just let them know that Bria needs to know this, as basic information as we can, because we are going to go to the tree to do a formal invitation. But if they could get information to her, that's
It's weird.
she's the not the head, but like the
nice lady
head.
that y'all deal with at the tree.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's
Sorry.
They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give her a message. Oh, can you tell your friend to stop trying to shoo us out of the way?"
a friend.
Devi.
Silver. Oh,
Is it Silver or?
I would think it would be Silver. He's the one that's here.
Yeah, Miss possible, probable.
Eve paid more attention than you. Because I didn't
Likely.
even know who we were talking about at all.
Wait. He said he was your friend. Is he not your friend?
Oh, if
Different.
it's is he really flamboyant and talkative and
Yeah.
yeah, that's our friend.
Oh, okay. He just showed up one day and walked in. We're not even sure how he got in.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you that. I mean, I'm.
He just does that. It's just a thing he does.
And you actually hear someone shouting, "Get out of my way, you dolt!"
Oh.
Yes, we need to talk to him.
Well, you can't talk to people
Or
like that.
them. Huh?
As you look down because y'all are at the upper portion of the library, you see down in the bottom areas where some people are working, a man wearing a bright purple vest and very colorful outfit chases away someone with a broom.
Well,
Does this
what are
look
you
like
doing?
any of the iterations of the Silver that we have seen before?
Nope.
Okay.
It doesn't, but we know it's him.
Do we? Go talk to him.
That's
All you got to do is talk to him about a car and him drinking, and that should clarify.
he drank with a car.
I'm not waving.
Ask her what's for dinner.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
It's not wings.
Yeah, it's not wings.
Just
All right. So, Winky, you go down and talk to him?
I want
Yeah.
to know what's for dinner.
All right, what do you say?
Well, you can't be talking to people like
It's a
that.
mystery.
He's
What's
like, I can
that?
talk to anyone how I want.
Not really.
I'm older than everyone in here combined.
Multiple times, probably.
Okay. I don't think that matters, but okay.
Besides, if I felt like it, I could just go.
Well, that's rude.
I know that's why I don't, but I could.
Well, next time, could you just ask them nicely to move? So,
Fine, I'll be polite.
thank you.
Be polite, be polite.
I walk away.
We do have stuff we need to tell them.
Will you tell them that? I'm not going back over there.
Honestly, I'm very impressed with that interaction.
As Winky's walking away, he tosses the broom he's holding in such a way that it lands on the little horns and like locks behind his neck.
I pick the boom up and break it.
It's literally behind you.
Well, I use my hammer. Jeez.
How? It's like pinned there.
It's somebody's broom. They need that.
It's his boom. We can spoon people away with it.
It's
So,
like those things where the muscle-bound person can't reach the little thing on the back of their back. Actually get to the broom because of the way the spikes on your armor, the armor on your armor. It's just the way it all works. You can't physically get your hands there.
Can I use my hammer to like move it a little bit so I can?
I cast Mage Hand.
No, I want to do it.
Mage Hand.
Don't touch it. Mm.
While
I
Winky
wanna
is
do this.
sailing around trying to figure out how to get to his hammer, the mage hand picks up the broom.
And then, okay, so I want it to be the Mage Hand picks up the broom, so just it kind of like pops out. But he thinks hopefully that he got it to pop out.
Yeah, Winky was too distracted to even notice that you cast a spell.
Yeah.
So Winky, you're flailing around, eventually dislodges the broom.
Oh, finally I did it.
There we go.
I leave. I'm not staying here. People are mean.
All right, now that we've given the silver etiquette lesson, let's ask him for help.
Oh, what are y'all here for?
Dinner's on the table in the kitchen, y'all.
We're about to head down to Brigham Meyer. Here there's
Oh, that place.
yeah, we're in some desperate need of help. Do you have any info on the guy that lives there, or lady that lives there, or
I can tell you she's not to be trifled with.
We're trying not to. Do you know what happened to that Kaminoan fortress? The history on that place?
I don't know about it being a Kaminoan fortress. I do know the dwarves that lived there for a long time.
The Iron Dwarfs?
Yeah.
Did they have any like
Had some dealings with them.
secret entrances or
Or a giant portal underneath.
yeah, any portals they may have had there?
They had portal. Well, all the dwarven fortresses had a portal of some kind. Although I don't think it was a special portal. I'm pretty sure it was that library y'all talked about.
Yeah, that's why we're going there.
Yeah, that's
So you're going to go there? There's a lot of dragons there, guys. I don't recommend it, really.
we're kind of at an impasse on. We kind of have to go there. That's our like last location we can to get into the library. If we can avoid conflict, we're more than happy to do so. Just we don't have much info on the region itself.
You might need to figure out how to have an audience with the Council of Metals.
What?
Council of Adults?
Council of Metals. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. They're going to be.
Oh. The Draconic Council of the different
Yeah,
metallic dragons.
yeah. They're good, and as long as you haven't done horrible things to good dragons, they'll not kill you likely.
Well, like the evil ones, like blacks and
As long as you
reds.
as long as you don't go hunting them because you like to feel the crunch of their bones underneath your feet, you're usually okay.
Their bones are pretty tough. I don't think I could do that.
It's a phrase. It's
Python.
not actual crunching
okay.
of bones.
Okay.
Yeah, the council. They don't like her. They've had trouble with her in the past. And they probably would love nothing more than to have her evicted. If not straight up dead.
Where is the council situated?
Oh. We'll make some contacts. See if I can get an audience for you with Artagas.
Okay.
He's one of the golds in charge of the council, but he is not too old to care about the mortals. I can't believe this. Okay. But that cave you sent me to was really cool. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I like you guys. Y'all are fine. And that cave was neat.
Do you know her name?
I will not tell you that. You have to get permission from Artagas and the council.
Fair enough.
Because this is a matter that could change the entire dynamics of the world's draconic population. From what I understand, she entertains the other chromatics at her fortress every now and then, and basically she's the head of their chromatic council. Although I believe the leader of the Reds is really gunning for her position.
Not any chance that they live at, and I mentioned a place where we went to and killed a red dragon. I don't say that. I just mentioned the place.
Yeah, that's where the Council of Reds lives. They're one of the only ones that have their own council for their own color because they didn't like the fact that other colors didn't. I don't know, they're egotistical. It's just what they do.
That sounds like a red.
Yeah. I mean, he looks at you, Core. You actually have a decent chance of at least talking to Artagas without him snickering at you.
That's good. I've always been curious about my heritage.
I think Artagas is your great 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 great
Please.
grandfather.
I don't know. I've never had a chance to look into it.
Just look at it this way: about 1 in every 6 humans at some point in time has had a dragon in their past.
Hmm.
Especially the metallic dragons, they have a tendency to get bored and think, "Hey, humans are fun," or whatever. And almost all of those can polymorph into something like y'all. So every now and then they just kind of get bored and say, like, "Hey, what'll this do?"
Gotcha.
That's rude.
So yes, Atala is probably my great 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 grandpa.
Cool. More family reunions.
We can invite him to the barbecue.
Barbecue.
Or we're gonna have a luncheon or dinner with all of our parents.
Oh,
It's
I
gonna
thought
be
you
at
meant
the
when we killed all the
barbecue.
black dragons at the friggin' mire.
Oh, that you know how to kill all the dragons? I don't know how to do that.
I figured a barbecue would work.
Oh,
A really big
Hey.
barbecue.
We're
Yeah,
gonna.
blacks aren't immune to fire.
I have to work on my sword a lot more.
But they do love their acid.
Acid. What are some good counters to acid?
Magic. That's pretty much it, because acid melts everything.
Okay.
I mean, from what I understand, there's usually at least a half dozen black drakes around that fortress at all times. Some of them all the way up to a couple 100 years old.
That's.
And then, of course, you got her. She never leaves, but oof, she is fairly stout. I don't know if she can leave anymore. She'd probably tear a hole in the wall if she did. She hasn't left since she was much smaller.
Okay.
Dragon, stop. Okay.
So. So we should not make fun of her weight. Do not call her the.
Not if you like living.
Not call her Queen Anne Chunk, guys. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Alright, do not
You'll be our
stand next to
sacrificial
Winky.
lamb.
Oh, by the way, after studying that cavern and some of the books in here, I have discovered possibly a way to undo some of the memory loss.
Hey.
I figured those two of your friends probably be the best candidates for that. They had a good bit stripped from them.
Your daughter, and the guy who didn't, the historian.
We'll probably be seeing them in the next couple of days. Or are you looking to go? Do you want them to come here, or you go there?
They can figure it out. Y'all can message me.
Right.
We have the little hockey things.
Yep. Rocky talkies.
Rocky talkie.
All right. Since you've been poking around this library for a while, do you know if there's any other books on Black Dragons or Kaminoans or anything like that? What else were we looking for, Hatala?
Eve needs to talk to her order.
Right, but
What are we
at
talking about?
libraries, just in libraries in general. The
Oh, what are we looking
Titans,
for in
anything on the
libraries?
Titans?
Black Dragons, Titans, Kaminoans. Probably Bergenmeyer in general.
Any books like that in this library?
No, this library is pretty much only dealing with monsters and lineage.
Yeah.
Basically, the lore for most types of ordinary creatures you'd come in contact with. There is some generic information on dragons, but it doesn't seem like the family specialized in dragons. They specialized in demons more than anything. Demons, undead, werewolves, all that kind of thing. Basically anything that preyed on humans regularly and could hide in populous areas. They were, from what I can tell, hunters of many of those things.
Okay.
Did you know the skull thing came from one of their guys? That was cool.
Go.
Hey.
Where is Pim?
There's Silver, no Pim?
I don't know, but where is Pim? We don't know. Is Pim in Bergenmeyer?
Pim was abducted by the Willem a long time ago. That's the last. That's always been with them.
Lich King, who's watching us all the time. Pim, we know his name. He's Pim, and he's a skeleton. Where is he?
Pim is his nickname. What was it, Lord what?
Pemberton.
Tripod.
Lord Pemberton. Okay. Well, I can't watch you and try to watch him.
Well, he's another lich. You guys might get along. I think he's just a floating skull.
He's a demi-lich? That's neat.
He-
Wait, I thought he was just infected with stones.
Well, he had a lot of great information. Probably all the information we could have wanted, and he got abducted. Remember Hitala
I'll
loving that
I'll
situation.
I'll prep. I'm making a room so that when I do look at Briggenmeyer, hopefully they won't be able to find me.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling if I find any of the powerful dragons, they're gonna see me.
Hmm.
Cool. We just gave you 2 new channels to watch.
Dangerous chances.
Do you give him the names that you got from the Hags?
Yes. Well, I mean, I figured he got them already, honestly.
But y'all got pieces of paper.
Yes.
But yeah, we give those to him.
Okay.
See if
Yeah, I'm prepping for that. It'll take me a couple days to be ready for the first try, but yeah, I'll add them to my list.
great.
All right.
I guess we're pretty much wrapped up here. I guess go with Eve Town. Do we want to start looking for magical stuff?
By the time y'all get to town, it'll be getting close to nightfall.
Right. Is anywhere specific you want to go, Eve?
Well, I want to go talk to Mavis, but we can go sleep.
We'll follow you on this trek.
Do you wish to come to town, sleep, and then do all your talking in the morning?
Yeah, I'll bring them to wherever they're sleeping, and then I'm gonna go to Mavis's house and spend the night there.
Okay.
I suggest that we do start looking for what's your blade made out of again, Hatala?
Adamantium.
Well, this one is made of mithril, and this one is made of cold iron, and this one is made of adamantium, and this one is made of adamantium.
Okay. Okay. I said it before you.
Yeah,
What?
that last
You
one.
want? I
that
know
last
exactly
one.
what he wanted. The adamantium.
How effective was that one against the little top guys that we were dealing with?
It cut like right through
Very.
them, destroyed them.
We might need to start looking for some more weapons or material that we can make weapons out of that stuff.
Some
I
of
don't know
those
how
sound
expensive it is.
scary.
My what?
Some of those I don't think I can touch.
Cold
'Cause
iron.
I would like to get some broadheads made out of some.
I don't know how cold
Much
iron
better
affects
stuff.
me. I think mithril is like silver.
It is.
Yeah, I think we need to look into some nicer metals
I believe-
for our weaponry.
Well, Hatala's just got a bunch of weaponry that's just all metal, so she doesn't have to deal with this can't be hit by that.
Well, just knowing that
Because-
simulation, I felt like I wasn't very effective, so I'm trying to increase my effectiveness.
We don't have a lot of money at the moment.
I'm just saying we need to kind of keep an eye out, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, never mind.
Got to make what we have stretch to cover our next fight.
Agreed, but you know, it's just thinking ahead, kind of thing.
Alright, well, I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep.
See you in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watch till he wakes up.
Hold on one second. I'm reading something real quick.
Swinky, what do you think we'll have to do if we end up running into one of these younger dragons? Got to avoid them completely?
Well, if it starts attacking us immediately, I say we either run towards it, try to fight it, may die, or run away, which probably isn't the best strategy, but it has a better chance of surviving. I think. I'm not good with fight with try to dragon before a fight. I don't know every detail.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah, we
much
fought
about dragons either.
a couple of dragons before.
Yeah, but they're like baby dragons.
Yeah, they
Well,
were.
the black dragons are usually very crafty. They, like the last one we fought, we were in that cave and it would hide
In
in
the
the
water.
Yeah.
Eve, you could swim. Why didn't you just jump in the water? I don't know if Eve is here or not. Should have just had Eve jump in the water.
Eve's over at the other
I
place.
know.
Yeah, she's with
I went for friends.
We're
Mavis.
talking about
But
her ears are
I don't
burning.
think
Or maybe
Eve
she'll
could swim
sneeze.
I don't think Eve could swim as good as she does now.
What kind of tactics you guys think would work good for? I was thinking like a magic wall of some sort to block the acid spray, maybe, or stone, or
Or
ice.
just more acid.
I mean, I don't think acid's gonna hurt them.
Well, Nina can, create a wall of stone if I'm remembering correctly.
Just trying to, while we have time to kind of come up with some strategies. I think the dwarves.
Cover ourselves in oil, so the acid just slides right off our armor.
Well, isn't our goal to get to the portal?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to not have to fight one. Everyone keeps
Well,
saying there's dragons all over the place.
I mean, how good are you guys at stealth? I
Nope.
know Tala's pretty good.
There's enough black dragons, and not to mention, dragons generally have minions. So it's not just going to be them. There's going to be a lot of fighting just to get in there. And if y'all don't do something to actually get rid of the dragons, you'll be able to go into the library and never come back out again.
We can come back out once and then die. Really.
Do you think the dragons would follow us into the library?
I don't.
They could.
If they did, they'd kill that Lich King.
Oh yeah,
Inside there.
Or get raised as one of its pets.
Or
yeah.
that.
Do we get into all these fights with, or try to avoid all these fights with dragons, or fight through the dragons? Then we still got to be prepared to fight once we get in there.
Okay. While y'all are discussing all of that, we're going to now role play Eve's meeting with her friend Mavis. Yeah, do you want them muted as they're not there, or do you mind them being part of the They can't talk back, but
Yeah, they're fine. It doesn't matter.
okay. All right, you make it to the house. and it is
Um,
around dinner time, so you hear the sound of chopping.
Yeah, I'll just knock on the door.
And Mavis comes to the door. Oh, hi, how are you? I've seen you in forever.
Forever, it's been like.
Well, it's been a couple weeks, but you know what I mean. Less than the last time.
Yeah, it hasn't been 10 years. That's something. Do you mind if I spend the night here? It's just me.
Anytime, dear, anytime.
Okay.
You like dinner?
Sure.
Okay.
I
She points over to the side. You know how to prepare those herbs right there.
Yep, I'll get to work.
Okay. Between the two of y'all, you notice that she grabs a few extra ingredients, but other than that, it's the same dish she was already preparing. She just added on to it to make more. And after a few minutes of working together in the kitchen, uh, are you going to chat with her just absentmindedly while cooking? So we don't have to role play the whole cooking of the dinner.
Yeah, I'll just kind of chat, I guess, whatever.
You finish cooking the dinner and eating the dinner, and now y'all are sitting down afterwards, and she's got a glass of wine out for each of you.
Okay. I'm not gonna really drink it. I'll just pretend to drink it. But yeah, it's not. I guess I don't even know why we're here, to be honest. I don't keep up with the team. I just kind of tag along.
You do plan to go to the temple tomorrow and talk to
Yeah.
them about the dragons.
I guess I'll just kind of like recap our whole like that, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
but just don't worry about me, you know. Just try not to get involved.
You're one of the toughest kids I've ever met, so I've not had too many worries about you.
Yeah.
I do get concerned every now and then, but you've got your faith.
I gotta
And
start now.
we'll
Now
see
that
you
it's
through.
yeah, that is, I'm still here. So,
Did you?
uh,
Sorry, but Artie is with you.
yeah, I guess so.
Is he out eating dinner too?
Yeah, probably.
She's just kind of staring. It's like, I knew you liked rats, but what happened to him?
He's got a personality now. It's pretty great, honestly. I mean,
Hey, it's good to have a friend.
yeah, he's the only one I really talk to. So,
He's just happily stuffing his face and looking around the shop.
you wouldn't happen to have, this is like totally off topic, random question. Don't be concerned. But do you have any poison, like poisonous herbs in that I
Oh,
could?
lots of things.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
just
you
need like
need for that medicinal usages. You know that. You know more about.
yeah,
You know about as much about herbs as I do. I taught you.
yeah. I was just wondering if you had some in, so I wouldn't have to go looking around for it. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Before you leave, you can take whatever you need from the pantry.
All right. Well, how that I don't know. Has the town been good since?
It's been a lot quieter. There's not nearly as much craziness going on, and the police seem to have come back in force again, and things seem to be much more ordered. The temple's
That
much busier, and the services are much better.
that is
Not any
wonderful.
weird things being taught anymore.
Yeah, that I'm glad I dealt with that. That was
It's kind of weird. It's like they were teaching from the book, but at the same time, it just wasn't right. I don't. How come more people didn't notice something was wrong?
I think they just kind of go along with, whatever.
Yeah, there's quite a few gullible people, and now we actually have townsfolk coming back into services again. So that's nice.
Oh, nice. I hope nobody's scared of me when I walk around town now.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, actually, your armor is pretty much like what most everyone else has now.
That's good.
Apparently,
Don't wanna-
after you left, they decided to adopt your style.
Oh, a trendsetter.
Yeah, they've even got a one of the men in town who is a pretty good craftsman has started trying to make tridents similar to yours.
Maybe we'll go see him.
I'm sure he would love that. He'd love to actually see your weapon once.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll put that on the list of stuff to do.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it. It's getting pretty late, so
All right. So you
hopefully
go
the guy.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say hopefully the guys in Natala aren't dead by now, because I mean, there's no telling what they've done with me gone. But yeah, then we'll go to bed.
Okay. Do y'all do anything else before going to bed? Everyone else?
I'm working on plans and stuff for the extendable legs.
I'm helping her. Oh, and don't mind, I just shit myself in the face.
You did what?
You just what?
You didn't see it?
I don't know what you think you
I
said.
did not hear hit myself in the
I
face.
didn't hear that either. What did you hit yourself with? What was that?
Oh, this is just a metal pole I found in my room.
Oh, that's one of my poles for
I'm holding it because I heard knocks on my door, but no one was there. So now I'm scared.
okay.
I think it was a lightning, but I'm not sure.
I do want to state that when Atala gave Carr back the ring, he went ahead and put it back on because it takes a week to get back started working.
Someone using a
I would be doing nothing but just laying down.
Sleep.
Not even sleeping, just sleeping maybe, maybe not, who knows. Just
Okay.
oof. Gosh.
Hold on. Okay. So the night passes. Nothing crazy happens. And you all wake up and meet for breakfast the next morning.
Hmm. You guys, do we keep watch like normal last night, guys?
I mean,
I
I
mean-
took watch. Well, we Winky and
Me
I
and
were.
Natala did. We were working on a thing.
Was I just
Did you
laying down the
like?
whole night? Was I here?
Well, what I think there was
so.
a point where I think you were snoring, and we just kind of let you stay there. Do you have your ring on?
Yeah, yeah, it's just legs are like super sore, like I'll walk in for like a super long time.
Huh? Eve, do you think you can see if there's anything wrong with his body?
Did you show up already? Oh, we met for
Yeah.
breakfast?
We met for breakfast.
You met for
I mean,
breakfast.
Yeah, like
Maybe.
like
well,
right,
I
like
can't see the face stuff, but there's the obvious. Just you look rugged all the time.
I
yeah,
What is
it
it?
mean,
was the
that-
legs.
Oh my God, you have 3 legs. Just kidding.
Woo!
no, she wasn't.
At least he doesn't have 17. That would be a mess.
Yeah, and all like the calves are like, I don't know, it's like exploding. Like I've been walking for like 2 whole days.
But you have.
Haven't we?
No, we went to a portal.
Yeah, we went through
Oh.
portals. I mean,
But you did
Oh.
walk from Orm to Norland.
rode in the
I mean, we
cart
had
a
a
good
cart.
bit too.
I mean, my legs feel fine,
But we also just
Ah,
slept.
and I'm
Oh.
shorter.
Like I'm used to walking around, and
Like
not
3 steps for me is like 1 step for you.
I do a lot of athletics and work out a good bit. The soreness
I
just
mean-
seems odd.
You did get rid of a good chunk of your power stuff, so who knows?
yeah.
That might take a toll.
Eh.
All of the creation stones came out of your legs.
I didn't even know it went that far down.
Did you ever check?
I'm pretty sure he probably checks like every night. Like, do I have any more spots?
Especially after the car's forehead.
Maybe you just fill up like a barrel, from the top to the bottom.
Well, I mean, it's
I
always
fill-
seemed to
I
have
fill out-
manifested
I
in my
fill out from the
arm and my,
fist.
maybe up to the shoulder, maybe in the forehead region.
You know, a
Mhm.
car's good at medicine. He can check out your feet if you want.
What if he's got hairy feet?
Just right
It's
on
like
the
in
breakfast
this
table.
region.
Oh,
You do
there's
massages too?
there's surprisingly very little hair on your feet, which
It's from the
must be
fire. It
must be
keeps burning off.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do you still have a beard?
I try to keep it away from the face. I don't want to lose my eyebrows, so I try to
So as I'm checking out Core's feet, it's like I did get a little bit more. No, this is a medical thing. I'm medically
Yeah,
checking
yeah.
you
It's just
out.
in my brain. I was like, how did we get here?
So I did hear a little bit more from the voice from my dream. It says you have to go back to the beach closest to your heart.
Did you say beast or beach?
Beach, like
Okay.
it's in sand
Oh
and
my
water.
God.
Find
How dare
my
you call
voice,
him that?
and all will be right. Please, you're my only hope. And then, as the dream starts fading, it says the seashells.
Okay, so you and your dad left like on a boat, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember being on a boat.
Do you know that is there a beach near the Deadlands that we needed to go to?
And Eric found him at a boat shipwreck.
I think that's where we need to go.
I mean,
Look, I'm
That's
gonna
as
make it. I want to make a
close as I
deal
can
with you,
think.
a car. You're having a dream, but I've been having some thoughts. Core brought up our parents, and I miss my mom. And this is really big. This stuff we're doing, these things that are happening, and I know we're gonna go to the Southern Kingdom sometime soon. And while not the town we're going to, but I'd really like to see my mom
I'm gonna
before we do this.
go to
I mean, that's
I arm
down with
around
that.
her
Yeah.
and just understand. It's heavy.
What's heavy?
You know,
We could not come back.
it's true. We could all die.
Right.
We still have a little bit of coin left. We could, go try to earn some more. Gamble it up a little bit.
Well, I mean, as I recall, you did pretty
What?
good down there. I know. I hear you did pretty good while we were down there in the Southern Kingdom. Because
Is that why you want to go? Look, I'm just trying to say that
He wants to check out
I
the half
want
of
to
the-
make sure to do what we need to do for our car, but I know that it would be more time spent, but I want to see my mother. But I'll be there for you, a car. I just am asking if I could go see my mom.
Absolutely. I would like to meet your mom.
Why do you need this from?
Because no, it's the whole group. He's having a dream. He's having something pull. I just want to see my mom. It's not, no divine entity is telling me to go or anything. So I know it's not important, but it's my mother, and it might be the last time I see her or she sees me, and I just want to see her.
Oh, wait.
Don't you want to see? Never mind. Don't you want to see your badger parents?
Generally, the lifespan of a badger isn't that long.
Yeah. Do you want to see your brothers and sisters?
What?
I don't know, man.
Your nieces and
I don't know.
nephews.
I'm like 42, and those are guys. They die in like 14 years.
They don't even remember you. Okay. Here we go. All right.
All right. A car has been like 10 minutes. You've been looking at my feet.
I mean, yeah. Well, it takes about that long for me to get a good once over.
Get a good
Make sure
what?
everything's all right. With my healing gloves, my battlefield medicine is not magic. It's actual medicine. It takes about 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm actually done with my. You
you
look
sure?
fine. I
So
don't know
you
why.
finished 20 minutes ago?
Oh my god!
I don't know why your legs are hurting, but they look fine to me.
All right, I'm gonna go with Eve's diagnosis then. Did you have a lovely time catching up, Eve?
Yeah, we threw a house party and it got pretty crazy.
Was that like the super big guy from that was mean? Was he there?
No minis were allowed.
Oh, okay.
All just straight
Was it just a bunch
cool-headed
of
people.
sash hole people?
No, they weren't allowed.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2 people.
Did anyone ask you, Winky?
I mean, no, but I
Okay.
give my opinion. Jeez.
You can have a house party with 2 people.
We
That shit
never
called a
had an actual
sleepover.
house
Technically,
party.
you can have a house party as long as you're by yourself in a house.
Oh.
I was party. Weren't they in a shop?
The shop is your house.
So it's a shop house party.
Bunch of drugs there.
It is an herbalist shop, so yes.
Learning so much about Eve. Atala might need some drugs to calm down a little bit. She's seeming pretty
Might need
stressed
some.
out.
Drugs.
We can go get some.
Like pipe weed?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't
That's
want to go
bad.
gamble, so I'm just trying to find a way to help you until we can.
What is with you guys and getting addicted to horrible things?
There's nothing wrong with pipe weed. Relaxes you.
You just need to stop chewing it,
I
Hatala.
mean, you see Nita?
The best time
been
to
chill
take
this whole
in
time.
pipe weed is once you ally yourself with a bunch of trees and take over a whole town. That's the best time.
Wait, you did that?
No, but I heard a story about it.
It takes a lot to get trees to go and move.
Yeah, they're kind of just. They like to stick in one place.
Hmm.
I think they call. Don't they have tree herders?
So, Eve,
Some of them are addicted to trees.
what's the status like in this town? Do I need to like change my armor again back into it, or do we need to take precautions?
Oh, no.
Or
We're good now. We are. Everybody loves me now.
oh, okay,
Speaking of which, we've got somebody else we need to go see.
okay. Do you want to just lead the way?
More errands.
Yeah, I totally know where I'm going.
His name's Aaron.
Aaron Yeager.
Following Eve.
Okay. You go across the street to the temple. Because you stayed at the same place you stayed last time.
Where we were scouting out the temple.
Yep. The place across the street from it.
Waka waka.
You notice the temple seems to be fairly active and bustling, even though it's not a holy day. There's quite a few people around the temple. Some people doing work, some people just doing whatever they would do on a normal day. Some people coming into the church to pray, things like that. And you do notice the battle sisters are all wearing armor that looks like Eve's.
Well, that's new.
And they're all carrying tridents that look a lot like Eve's, although not quite the same. They don't have the runes on them.
Okay, I thought I would like this, but not everybody
Why
looks
are there a
like me,
bunch of
so...
Eves in here? Holy crap.
The only difference is none of them have face masks of any kind, so their faces are open and their hair is visible, so all of them look distinct.
I thought. Wait, Eve has a mask?
She has regular plate mail, so she could put her visor down just like a normal warrior would. They don't have visors at all because they're in a public-facing position.
Yeah, the truth is she's been trying to talk to us this whole time, but we couldn't hear her through the face mask.
You were born into that. I was born into darkness. If she ever wants to mumble, she can just put her face mask down.
Yeah. Well, I guess I want to try to find that dude that's trying to make the tridents. That's...
Don't we need to
Is
talk
he?
to like the leaders here? Can we do that? Oh, sorry.
He's not
I'm-
part of the temple.
Okay, well, okay, I guess then we will do that later. Yeah, I guess we can go find... I don't know her name.
Marge? That's not her name. but-
No, it was not that. It was something else.
I'm looking.
It's my other notebook.
Maya? Or was it a Maya?
I don't know. I'm looking.
Maya said Eve killed Madria. Someone killed Mother. Maya now Mother. SS got Mavis out.
Badria.
Badria.
Badger?
That's right, because Badria is the bad one.
Okay.
But badgers aren't bad.
That's how I remembered it.
Waka waka. Whew. Do we all forget where we need to go?
Well, no, we're talking to the leaders here. We're about to talk to Eve's about to talk
Yeah.
to leaders.
I was trying to look through my thing to see if I have the exact one.
Yeah. There's, I don't know, because we got really confused about that. So I've got two people. So I think Amaya is the good one. And
Pretty sure
then
the bad one's in jail.
Badger was...
No,
yeah,
because
that's it.
she was actually not that bad. She was being
There's
influenced
two
by.
of them. There are two of them.
How did they tie into you?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Like, okay, so, because, yeah,
There's
the notes are messed up.
There's the battle sister that was loyal to the church, but still a good person. And she's in charge of the battle sisters now.
Yeah. That,
And
in my notes, is Amaya.
I'm good with just going with that.
I can't find my note. I guess it's on piece of paper. No, I know it's on a file. Hold on a second. I want to try to get this right.
And then this says Badria was an up and coming temple person with anger issues.
Yeah, she's a
That's all I
bad.
got.
And you were all kids together?
They're older than me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was like 10 years old when all this went down.
Dang.
There it is. D&D Islands. I had to find the document. Yeah, Mother Badria was the one in charge when y'all went in there and stopped everything. Mina Sif is the battle sister that is now in charge of the sisters. Can't remember who we said took over after y'all finished.
The lady that lost her memory, she was whatever.
Is that the monkey lady?
Because there was a Sana Farhat and Tana Bara, and then Mina Sif were the main people.
I don't know any of those people, so I'm just gonna close this.
So, Mina is now in charge of the temple guard. We know that. And we'll just say that Santa is the one in charge now.
Oh,
Santa!
oh my god!
She's now Mother Santa.
No witnesses.
Because she was always a believer. She just was swayed by Badria.
A lot of us.
You find the mother, and she's conducting business as usual, and she's like, "Oh, greetings, Eve. How are you?"
I'm doing the best that I can.
That's all we can do. Where did
Well,
you bring today?
I don't even know what you just said, but
It's one of your belief sayings that Gazra is the wind. So
yeah,
where did the
gotcha.
wind bring you today?
Well, here because and take it away, Core. This is
How do
Core, by
you
the way.
feel about fighting an ancient black dragon? Or maybe just their horde of underlings?
We have some pretty decent guards, but it's only been a couple of weeks, and we're not back up to full strength yet.
It won't be the day. We do need some help, though. If
We
you
provide clerics.
Well, I mean, if you got some time to sit down for 10 or 15 minutes, I can kind of give you the rundown on the end of the world scenario that we're facing right now. If you have time, though.
I mean, I'd love to hear the stories of the world around us.
Phenomenal. So I'll go into Kaminoans, Quelith, what's transpiring right now with them trying to enter back into the world. Eve can probably chime in with the gods and the whole point of the plague and why that's transpiring and the dreams she's had, and leading up to now the reason why we're trying to get to this library and the passageway in there, and there's just so much in the way, and we're trying to gather as many allies as possible to assist us. Yeah.
Right now, we are definitely not ready for anything of that sort. But When the time comes, we will bring you clerics. We will find the other face on the island, and we will bring you clerics
Okay.
to help keep your troops alive.
Sounds good. Then we will send you a message when the time comes. Thank you.
May the wind be at your back.
And not in your pants.
And you don't.
Sorry, I didn't
Never break
I
it.
didn't know.
Or that was your thing. You weren't supposed to talk when you're like in. You weren't supposed to.
Sorry.
You don't.
That's true. Sorry, Eve.
Let's just go.
You shouldn't break the windows, man.
Okay, so you have left the temple.
I want to find that blacksmith dude.
All right, your best bet would be to ask one of the battle sisters.
All right, I do that.
Okay. They tell you the name of the man and give you rough directions. He's a couple blocks over.
Like Lego blocks.
Mhm.
You find the weapon shop.
Sorry.
We just stand outside and just stare.
I
at the
go
door.
in.
You hear him hammering away. It looks like at the corner of the shop is a bunch of old rusty anchors. It looks like that's what he's using as his base material is old rusty anchors.
When he gets inside, it becomes blacksmith and then walks in.
And you see a furnace, Winky, that actually looks well above what normal furnaces would be in this area.
Ooh,
It may have been dwarven made.
that's cool. Well, not cool, but
All right, you can say that's hot.
I'm not gonna say that. That's weird.
And you see a man hammering away at one of the end of the anvil.
Somebody's here. Why are we
Good
here
shot.
again?
Just ring the bell. Ding!
And you see a young child run up. What do you want? And
I'd
then you
like
hear,
to speak
you
with
hear the man-
Howl.
then you finally hear the man at the anvil. Don't talk like that, you daft dummy.
Lady Eve
Scared
is
me.
here to see the smith.
Oh.
Their full
Again,
name,
don't-
Cor.
Sorry.
He turns around and is like, it's you. Oh, I've heard of you.
Just kind of.
I thought you'd be taller.
We're
She's
working
pretty
on.
tall.
We're working on the
But you're an
stilt
ordinary
shoes.
person like everyone else.
Yep. I guess I'm gonna go. It's nice to
Please,
see
you
you.
weren't gonna show him the trident?
Just kidding. No, he called me short pretty much. Anyways, I guess
I
thought
am
you'd
short.
wanna- Shush! I thought you'd want to see this.
Oh.
I would
Nice.
love to. Can you give me a few minutes with it?
Yeah, I guess.
He starts examining it, and you can tell he's looking at it with the eye of a consummate craftsman.
Don't worry, Eve. If he tries to run off with it, we'll track him down and kill him for you.
Well,
What the heck?
Akar, get your bow ready.
You
No,
notice,
no,
you notice he doesn't have his right leg below the knee.
Gonna be a wily one.
he's gonna talk about my height.
Probably a pirate.
You want me to select him
Cor-
as my
Cor-
hunted
Cor-
target so that we can
Cor-
track him down?
Cord,
Yeah, Winky.
No.
you,
Oh my god.
we
He's
can't
a
kill him.
Can't kill
He's a
him.
human, but he almost looks like a dwarf as short as he is.
Can't kill him.
I have a rule: you can't kill blacksmiths.
That's the thing. But Akar
Yeah.
keeps shooting you. What? I guess he doesn't kill you, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it like all
He didn't say no
blacksmiths?
torture.
Only the nice ones.
How do I tell?
Uh,
I just wait for you to
he,
tell
he
me.
seems nice.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Okay.
said he seemed-
Okay.
After a few minutes of him examining your trident, he hands it back respectfully to you. That is a
See, he's
beautiful
nice.
piece of equipment.
think of. Wait,
Do you need anything else from us?
No, I just thank you for the opportunity. It's a very nice weapon. I would love to make something even close to that quality one day.
Hopefully you do. Thanks
I
for
just-
helping out the people at the temple.
No problem. I always help out those of faith.
All right. You guys got anything?
I show him my plans for the extending legs. I ask if he has any tips or thoughts on how we can make these better, or
He's looking at him. Do y'all have an hour to kill?
I look
sure.
at everybody else.
Just
got
let
an
me
hour.
know what you need dead.
Wait, what?
He kind of
he,
looks
said,
Why do you want to kill everything, bro?
he said, "Do you have an hour to kill?"
Oh,
at you, Eve. That one's not right, is he?
None of
He
them
used to
are.
be better than he
Yes.
was now.
wait, who?
Yeah.
If our dwarf friend isn't here, he gets a little reminiscent and misses him and starts to kind of act more like him.
Oh, where is Nita?
He's smoking.
Busy doing tree things.
He's high as a kite.
In a tree.
Okay.
Want to be
He
there?
sits down and starts drawing up the plans that you have on another piece of paper.
What? He's gonna steal our idea. You see how short he is?
He's like, all right, what's your name, lass?
Atala.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to play around with this plan. It looks like an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun for our gnomish friend over here.
You can call him the tallest sticks.
The
That's a
what?
stupid name.
The Tala. Your name's Atala.
Oh,
Tala.
That is not what I heard either.
Politics.
Anyways,
oh God. Help me.
Okay.
Call him long legs.
Go gadget stilts.
I was thinking one in the halfling boots.
I like the sound of that one a lot better.
Really?
Eve, is there no one else here you'd like to see before we go?
I don't really like anybody else here.
Is
But-
there anybody here you want to punch in the face before we go?
Nita isn't here. We're good.
Oh, that
No,
reminds me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wouldn't mind going down to the beach real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
But Hatala, that reminds me. Did we ever resolve who you wanted to punch in the face? Did we ever find out anything about that?
Isn't he a slave now?
They're tracking that down, and they're gonna try to
that
help him
Here?
get
Do
free.
you want to see if they have any insight?
Yeah, that probably would be good to find out if they helped him out. I'd like some closure.
It'll be a lot more time before they actually return with any information because they had to sail by ship.
That's what I say.
And it's been very long since y'all left.
Yeah. So,
It's felt like forever.
well,
Basically,
The
you
slaves
know,
have died like 6 times.
By fall, they might know something.
knowing that there was more behind just Doxer, I'm to a point, as I've said before, that I think just forgiveness is what's needed there. But if I find out the people and the means and the vehicle by which that they came together to hatch this plan against the king or whatever,
Yeah, you never
I don't know if
figured
I'm
out
going to
who
be happy with
that
that.
mysterious person was that
Yeah,
all
there's
this
so
in
much
motion.
more. There's so much more going on there. It's more of a thing of like I can't worry about that right now, but if I find out, maybe there's a new person to punch in the face.
Oh,
And
I'll
you'll
punch
have
everybody in the
these
face.
stilt boots, and maybe you can a whole new class of people
I
you can
didn't
punch.
even think that I could use the boots. The stilts. The whole thing was been Winky.
Mass produce them for all those short people out there.
Like, can you just
See,
imagine?
It's
That's
actually
lucrative.
more profitable than Payton's hole, so you're making more money than Nito.
Oh, we just become super rich. Like,
Uh,
Okie dokie.
bro.
Anything else to do in town directly, or just head to the beach?
She
Head
wants
to the beach.
All right,
Um,
you make it down to the beach.
a car. You
It's
might want to
nice.
like look for a seashell. I'm not saying this is where you're supposed to go, but you know it is a beach.
Carl looks at Atala going, "What?
Do you feel like your
Oh,
heart
the
is here?
seashells?"
You got some sand in your ear? You okay?
No, I was holding a seashell up to my ear. Like, what? Oh, the seashells. Yeah, just trying it.
Beach near your heart.
Does he have a heart?
Beach
Do
closest
we know hearts exist?
closest to your
No,
heart.
I mean he has.
Carl
all
looks
this
at
other
his chest.
stuff.
Do I have a seashell?
Yes, people have been cut open before, so they know their
Yeah.
hearts.
Okay.
Not to mention,
I'm-
hunters love the hearts of animals to take their power and blah blah blah.
I'm pretty sure Eve wants this to be a calm moment though, so like I'm gonna like. Fine.
Actually, I was gonna say we could see who can hold their breath the longest. If you guys want
Winky
to
goes straight under the water.
He'll
He
be
doesn't
down
even-
there forever.
How long can I hold my breath? What is this?
Core gets caught trying to take a potion out and just has to put it
This-
back. Like, okay.
This sounds fun. What role
It's your
would that be?
constitution modifier, basically.
Constitution.
I don't know. Ours got us.
Is that like
Okay.
a
What's your
fortitude save
constitution modifier?
A what?
+4?
Hold on, let me look up the rules for breath.
Wait, Eve's gonna win.
Why do you think
Why
she
do you think
challenged?
she beat at the contest? We know this.
Yeah,
We already know it.
as many times as we've challenged everyone to arm wrestling matches.
This
She's
is
gonna
her
win. She can
jam,
breathe
man.
underwater.
Yeah, well, next time challenge her to climb a rope.
All right,
Hey, she's gotten better at that.
Do a backflip.
you can hold
Okay,
your
I got you.
you can hold your breath for 5 plus your constitution modifier in rounds.
So
Backflip.
minutes or seconds? Oh, now I gotta do a backflip and one upper.
Mine is
Hold on.
+3.
So you can hold your breath for 8 rounds.
I'm gonna do a backflip too.
I can do 9.
All right, am I the first one up?
Backflip.
Winky, how long can you hold your breath for?
What's your
Not
constitution?
very
modifier?
long.
What's your constitution modifier?
One.
And then add. He can hold it for 6 minutes. I have 10 minutes.
I was the first one up. I was gonna hold my
How?
breath again and put it back down.
I have a constitution modifier of +5.
Winky can hold his breath forever. He won't come up back alive, but he can hold his breath forever.
Of the people who do not breathe underwater, a car is the winner. But of the group, Eve is the winner.
Of course, a car is the winner. He doesn't need to breathe. He's a car. What are you talking
Car
about, bro?
still needs to breathe. Eve doesn't need to breathe. Because she breathes underwater.
As I'm going up, I just tap Eve on the shoulder, going thumbs up, and like I just go up. It's like, yeah, you won. Good job.
I don't even go under. I don't
Done.
even go under, bro.
Tapping out.
Winky's just been under the water trying to do backflips.
He's just doing this. Wee.
I don't move. I can't swim.
You just walk out.
While I'm down here, can I try to find something in the
Sure.
sand?
You find a skull.
You looking for something specific?
Nope, just looking.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
You remember all the crickets that Tala put in your bed, and you're gonna get a crab and put it in her bed tonight.
See random stuff we can find on a beach.
Treasure chest. Full of like a bunch of money. I guess I'll go too. I want to look for stuff. How do I? Here it is.
Roll a perception check.
I didn't find anything.
No.
I found sand.
Driftwood.
As I'm on the shore, kind of waiting around, ask a car like, each closest to your heart. You know where Eric found you, or do you think like the Halcyon area, you know, where the Death Stone infected you? That was on the shore.
Wasn't that? Wait, if I'm remembering correctly, that was in the Deadlands, correct? We went through a weird portal.
It was on the coast of the Deadlands. I don't know if it was in the Deadlands or not, but
Well,
yeah,
it had to be in the Deadlands if my brother
there
showed up.
Yeah, true. That's true.
But I remember it being there was snow started to fall, and it was around the time that winter was coming. So it had to be more north than where we
What
were.
are you talking about?
You know, when we trying to figure out where the beach is close to my heart, and he brought up where I got the Death Stone.
That was in the fortress on the edge of the cliffs.
Yeah, Halcyon. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was talking to him about, and also I'd asked him where Eric had found him, but we may need to go talk to Eric about that.
You would have to talk to Eric about that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so we might have to go just talk to Eric about that.
All right. We are going to stop here because it's almost 10 o'clock, and we can prep for who you're going to talk to next time.
Okay.
All right. Tonight, Eve, you get 50 bonus experience for your good role playing. Akar, you get 50 bonus experience for being the foot doctor.
Yay!
Korg, you get 50 experience for your feet issues. And that and the whole breaking wind to the temple mother. And Hatala, the experience for her good role playing of being a daughter.
All right. Well, everyone, it's been fun. Thank you for joining us. Until next time. So long.
Until next one, break wind.
But not in your pants.
Whoa.
People
What?
preach this.